The link to the story will be in the description. Still Raw by Fuhara Sora.
Let's start this from behind Kuo Academy School, where we found our favorite blonde lying under a tree with peaceful atmosphere surrounding him. Ah. So peaceful, Tilda, said the blonde, followed with a blissful sigh out from his mouth. Day off is where the students whom attend Kuo Academy can be seen not much as the usual days. Only those who busy with their club activity or have duties like the student council that came to the school. However, for Namikaze Naruto, day off means he has more time to kill the time itself. In other words, lazing around. But still. Never thought that Gremory girl gonna have her first rating game so soon. As he enjoying the breeze, the blonde-haired janitor remembered a certain info about Rias and her peerage that went to prepare their first rating game. Rias' opponent is the third son of the Phoenix clan, who also her fiancé. And the game itself has her engagement as the bet. And you know what? It's all started when the ex-chunny herself refused the engagement because her so-called fiancé is a jerk. Some tense atmosphere, interrupted by the third party, and a suggestion for a match later. The game was set. Until now, it's proceeded like what had been planned. And next, trailed Naruto mysteriously as he remembered a plan that he made with a certain red-haired Lucifer. Better not to think it seriously. Rummaging his pocket, Naruto happily pulled his newly smartphone that he got after let's say that he got it from a nice guy who lurking around an alleyway to sell medicine, a same nice guy that he entrusted to another nice guy in blue uniform with shield-like badge. Let's see. Finish the rest paperworks, check. Make a clone for cleaning the school, check. Receive the latest info about Mit-chan's mission, check, said Naruto as he checking his schedule for the day. After heard Rias and her peerage's plan going somewhere for an intense training for their first rating game, Naruto decided to send Middle to observe them. It's not like he can't do it by himself, but the fallen angel still has her own duty. Though several days later, he decided to send a clone to make sure Rias and her peerage won't discover the girl. And he gave his clone orders to record all the accidental misfortune things that happen to the fallen angel. Who knows, there might be unusual things like when the girl accidentally falls into a mud puddle, then lost her clothes when take a bath before found clothes with words I love emo that somehow she couldn't take it off. PFFT, yeah. Accidentally. And you should focus on word when instead if in there. Well, what eve are, said Naruto as stretch his body and close his eyes before let the nature embracing him. The air is fresh, cozy and calm atmosphere, gentle winds, soft green grass, and the warmth from sunlight makes the place so perfect for taking a nap. Nothing and no one will disturb him his nap time. Yeah, even the person that arrived beside him. Shing, even that sound likes when you draw a sword. Phoop, or even another sound like when you rise up the sword. Wait. Naruto opened his eyes, right in time to see a sword going down to his head direction. Hi! Shrieked Naruto while barely dodged it by rolling to the side, then quickly crawling out from that spot with terror plastered on his face, before pause then looking back. What the hell are you trying to do? Shouted the Naruto with body that lack of color, still shocked at what just happened. Sugu I. It's just like what Keiku said. Comes from a rather familiar voice to the blonde. Sugu I, my ass. Wait, you are. Trailed off Naruto as he recognized the person in front of him. A girl with height shorter than him and has brown hair in twin ponytails with green hair clip, green eyes, and wears Kuo Academy's uniform. The girl suddenly gives him a grin like someone who never tried to separate his head from the body before. Yahoo, senpai. Once again, I am Nimura Ruruko, Kuo Academy's first-year student. Nice to meet you. She also gives him a playful salute to make her look like a cheerful girl, but clearly not worked by how she failed trying to hide the sword on her back. Naruto deadpanned at the display. Right. You are one of the student council members. Why, I'm not surprised. He remembered this girl. Nimura Ruruko is a girl who was singing merrily at the party after their match against Rias. She is a childish girl yet very good at hiding her sly nature when in front of Saji and known always trying to find excuses to skip patrolling the town. Also, Nimura Ruruko is a very dangerous girl when got drunk. Who would have knows that he would see that Saji guy almost get raped by her that night. First, you're not drunk, are you? And second, what's with that katana? Asked Naruto still with deadpan face. Ruruko tilting her head with a confused face and says. What are you talking about, senpai? And what katana? The one that you hide on your back. That's mean, senpai. I'm a peaceful person, you know. How could you think this pure and innocent Kouhai of yours is hiding something dangerous like that? That sounds more weird from someone who wants to behead me a few seconds ago. Also, you calling yourself pure and innocent? Then she blatantly throws the sword to another direction, before give him another dismissing laugh while showing her empty palm. See? There's no sword. You throw it. You throw it off just now. I clearly saw that you kya. Tomoe-chan. The one that interrupt Naruto is not Ruruko, but it was from someone else. What happened next? And there was two people facing each other with shadow covering their face, surrounded by awkward silence as commotion that followed by a siren can be heard not far from their place. After the sound of siren is gone, Naruto raised his head and looked at the girl in front of him with mix of absurdity and amazement, before massaging his temple for a few seconds, then finally make a gesture like he was moving a box from one to another place. Okay, how about we ignore that and let's start what you want? Ah, that's right. Here, from Keiku, said Ruruko as she gives him a letter. And the odd thing is, the girl even dare to give a smile despite heard someone impaled by the sword that she throws. The blonde gives her a flat stare for a few seconds, before read the note. If you read this, then it means you're survived. That also means I won the bet with the other member of the student council. So you're the mastermind. Thought Naruto after knowing the truth now, the girl that gives this letter is one of the peerage. Upon more exactly. And if you dismiss her just to get a nap, forget it because I have an order for you. Again. A sigh out from Naruto mouth before he continues reading. So much for a peaceful nap. It's not that hard. You just have to patrol on the west side of this town with her. P.S. The rating game between Rias and the Phoenix Air is tonight. Come to the student council room later with that fallen angel. Just great, muttered the janitor in displeasure. What's wrong, senpai? What's the letter says? Asked Ruruko with face that says she already knows but pretended to know nothing. Ah. It says that you and Tsubasa-kun have to patrol the town. At Naruto halted what he wants to say, then quickly jumped to the back after felt something fast directed at him. In slow motion, Naruto saw the thing that passed in front of him. It was a familiar rectangle object, made of dried earth, has a pink hue on it, and a Sitri clan symbol on it. His sweat dropped at the last part. That girl. Just how skilled is she at crafting thin another one? Thought Naruto, before he sensed another one that makes him jump to the side to dodge the brick. Bam! Ow! Correction, he dodged the damn brick that hit Ruruko's head instead. Swoosh swoosh swoosh, here they come. The first wave comes from behind, but the blonde already anticipates it with dodging to the side. Another comes from the front, right, and above him. He jumped and using his flexibility to twirl his body in the air. Then the next wave was coming from random place with a pace faster than before. After Naruto landed, he crouched, rolling to the right, dashed to a nearby tree, and executed an epic back somersault, then finished the combo with jumping to the side. Sighing in smugness, he turned around to the incoming bricks, then grinning as a certain thought crossed in his mind. In slow motion, he bends his body backward while moving his arms and body in various angles, dodging the bricks one by one that could make Neo from Matrix give him a standing applause if he watching it. Such a magnificent display of dodging skill. After it was over, Naruto straightened up back, then rubbing his nose as his eyes closed. Humph! A scoff out from his mouth. Thinking could scratch this one with mere bricks? Ridiculous. Listen, foolish mortal. For thou who targeting me, targeting this awesome one, this damn handsome looking badass person who bam. And he missed another one from behind him. Such a epic way to ruin it. Well. For someone who bathing in arrogance and let their guard down, it bound to be happened. Lying on the ground now are Naruto and Ruruko with shadow covered their face. Surrounded by awkward silence as raucous calls of crow that oddly enough sounded like "Aho, idiot," can be heard. Oi, what is it, senpai? Let's patrol the town. Okay. Now let's move from Kuo Academy to another place in another part of the town. Walking near a riverbank with a face like someone who got their soul drained. Or more like a Haniwa statue, is Naruto, dragging his feet with shoulders down. Senpai, that won't do. You have to do this seriously, complained Ruruko, who walked behind the blonde. Still with Haniwa-like face, Naruto turned his head and says. Don't wanna, sighed at the reply. Ruruko tried to reasoning with him. Come on, the more serious we do it, the faster we could take a break, you know, Naruto sighed as his face back to normal. I know. But wait a minute. He paused for a second after felt something was not right about the girl in front of him. As far as I know, this girl hates to patrol the town. But how come she very enthusiastic about it now? Jolted at the sudden change in the atmosphere, Ruruko, who's sweating bullets, is take a step back while averting her eyes. Hoo-ha? What's wrong, senpai? Naruto leaning closer with doubtful gaze, make the girl sweating more bullets. You Don't tell me someone promised something to make you patrolling the town with me? Ha ha ha? WHWH, what are you talking about? Say senpai? Sona Keiku didn't promise me for a chance to patrolling alone with Genshiro senpai or something later. A flat stare that directed from his half-lidded eyes is the only respond after heard that. Sighed at the truth, Naruto looked at the girl who averting her gaze to a random area for a moment, before he thinking how to win this girl's favor. Few seconds later, a certain memory about amusement ticket that he got yesterday was surfacing from his mind. It was something that Naruto got from helping a broken heart student that saw his girlfriend gave a deep kiss to another guy. Naruto was planning to get the money from it, but it seems the tickets could be useful right now. Hey, girl. WHWH, what is it, senpai? Ah, no. It's just I have this 2 tickets to amusement park that you could use to invite that Saji guy. But somehow, this task to patrol the town make me don't want to give it to you, said Naruto as he waving the tickets with smirk plastered on his face. The time stopped for Ruruko. As if a bullet, Naruto words passing through her head. Blasted everything in her mind and leaving images where she and Genshiro laughing together, walking while holding hands, then spend a romantic time while showered by the sunset. With a speed that almost rivaling a technique called Hiraishin, Ruruko grabbed the tickets and brought it up like a champion to their medal. She turned to another direction, raised her head, then shouts, to the hell with patrolling the town. Ooh. Naruto, who know he got the favor, decided to play along with the girl's enthusiasm. What a hassle. Why we have to do this even though the weather is so good for lazing around? We have human rights too, you know? Continued Ruruko with fire in her eyes. That's right. You tell them, Kouhai, shouted Naruto with equal heat in his eyes. Fuck with patrolling the town. Why we have to do it while we can go to an arcade and play the games? We need some stress relief too, you know? Continued Ruruko. That's right, agreed Naruto again. Yosh. Senpai, let's go to the arcade then. With a fiery aura, Ruruko pointing her finger at a random place. Naruto give a salute as the response. Aye ma'am. Gyuu tilde, a rather cute sound interrupted them, makes the atmosphere slightly awkward after found the source was from Ruruko's stomach. Well, that was a bit anticlimactic, pointed out Naruto. Turning back, Ruruko, who rubbing her stomach while smiling sheepishly says, aha, aha ha ha ha, Naruto sighed amusedly at that. Let's go get some food first then, the brunette gives a salute and a beaming smile. Ha aye. And of course you would treat me right, senpai? The girl looking at him with hopeful eyes, and the response from the man is a gaze as if saying what is this idiot talking about in his head. Wait, he actually thought that. And why should I do that? Pay for yourself. Cheapskate. It's fine, isn't it? Senpai is actually rich, right? Keiku said it herself, that senpai could buy several islands if you want to. Whined the girl as she gives a cute pout. Aha, but that is not a reason for me to treat you. Please, senpai, she gives him a puppy eyes dog with sparkling at the background. No. Puidi puis tilde? Even when she increases the intensity, Naruto still looking at her as if she is a bug. You are such a pain in the ass, aren't you? Mo senpai, treat me, said Ruruko as she pulling Naruto's right hand to the left and right like a child who wants a toy. Do. Not. Want. To. Humph. Who this girl thinks she is? He, a man who has more experience and higher immunity for this kind of things than the god himself, could be persuaded by a stupid childish act? Dream on, little girl. 20 minutes later. Why the great I can be persuaded by this mere childish teenage girl, why? Asked Naruto to himself on fours with disbelieving face as depressed aura can be seen around him. Ah ha 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 ha, I don't know what you are talking about, but thanks for the treat, senpai, said Ruruko, who beamed happily before she continued eat the taiyaki in her hands. Somewhere, in another place in a part of the town from light novel called High School DD, a town that even this damn author doesn't know what its name, we found Naruto, who already recovered from his episode before joined eating taiyaki that he bought with Ruruko. The place where they are now is just a simple playground that has a tree in the center with several benches that placed around the tree. Of course, sandbox, swing sets, monkey bars, and many other tools to make the children to be entertained also in there. Nope. There is nothing special about the place. It's just some waste details that the author throws to make the story longer. Now back to the story. Ruruko looked at her front, at the kids who playing in the monkey bars, before turned to Naruto and saw the blonde-haired young man who has marks that oddly enough resembled his whiskers in his face eating the snack indifferently. She giggled at how silly her senpai looks. What is it? Asked the blonde, who not even bothered to look at her. Ruruko shook her head before replied by, Nah, nothing. Before she turned and facing back at the kids. For Nimura Ruruko, her thought of Namikaze Naruto was someone that just by a glimpse could tell that he is more befitting as a student in her school than a worker. At first, like any other students, she just thought he was an unlucky person with money problems so that he has to work instead goes to school. Nevertheless, she was wrong about that part. Especially after heard what her student president said about how rich he is. Ruruko was attracted to the man. Not romantically. She is wondering why he purposely work as a janitor while he already rich. Or is he one of that kind of type, a rich man and his curiosity about commoner things type? Then again, this man not looked or act like a noble and always complaining about his job. So many questions appear in her mind, but most of all, there is one question that she really wants to know. Is he really one of Sona Keiku's servants like what Ria-senpai suspected? If it's so, why Keiku keep it secret from us? Muttered Ruruko unconsciously. Secret? What secret? Asked Naruto, who sharp enough to heard it. Nothing. Answered Ruruko as she shook her head, which makes Naruto shrug his shoulder. Weird girl. Ruruko take a deep breath and release it. Well, whatever. Only time that will answer that question. For now, thinking Naruto senpai as a senpai in this devil business is enough, thought Ruruko as she eats her third taiyaki now. Ratatata, tata tilde. Ruruko heard a rather familiar ringtone from her side, before turned her head and saw the blonde janitor pick up a brand new smartphone from his pocket. Hello Tilda. Ha. What's wrong? Ruruko saw her senpai want to say his usual lame intro with giddy face, before halted then sighed in displeasure. Yeah, I'm with her. What are you doing in there? Moreover, why are you wheezing? Cannot defeat them? What the, ha? Fine, where are you now? By the way, did you bring the marker? Fine. I'll be right there. He ended the phone before facing at her with sour face. Let's go. Sona and the others need a help, eh? Was what she only could said before the blonde put his hand on her shoulder, then everything went blur after that. With a flash, Naruto and Ruruko appeared in somewhere else, and the first thing that happened after the two arrived was Bui. Ruruko puking on the corner. Say senpai. What was that? Groaned the girl who experienced something. Twisting. It's just my own version of teleportation magic, said amused Naruto as he saw the first-year student who spilled over nothing. Naruto shook his head then grabbed a three-pronged kunai on the ground near him. Now come, let's see what make. Before Naruto finished, something slithering wrapped Ruruko's leg then pulls her up to the mid-air, makes the twin-tailed girl holding her skirt so her white with pink polka dots one exposed to the world. Kya? What is this? Naruto blinked twice before following the tentacles and sweat dropped when saw the situation in there. The hell is happening here? Eon on do. Don't. Let go of me. It's tentacles. Lots of dark red tentacles that wrapping Sona and the rest of the student council member, binding their hands and legs like a pro bondage play. You know. Turtle shell, shrimp binding, and stuff like that. Gah, why you? Naruto ignores the one on Genshiro, though. The source of those tentacles was from three monsters that look like a half-naked woman. Said half-naked because it's only has their human part on the upper and some kind of giant flower that connected with roots on the lower part. Naruto openly face-palmed, before facing at Sona's direction. Oof Sona, are you okay in there? Shouted Naruto indifferently. The hell I am, shouted Sona after moaning when felt a tentacle slithering between her private parts. The short black-haired Sona who has her hands and legs are tied in spread eagle position, which exposed her purple striped panties now as several tentacles also slithering passing her private part. MMFH. On top of Sona's body, was Tsubaki with mouth closed by the tentacles and tied with turtle shell pattern on her body. Naruto deadpanned at the sight like two bondage women in Yuri play for a moment. Before he took a picture with his phone and typed something on it. Now what will Sarah-tan said when she saw this, and send. Muttered Naruto who giggling like a high school girl's, before nodding in satisfy when finished. Oi, you there. What are you doing with that? Shouted Sona after heard something about sending picture. Naruto waving his hand with indifferent face. Nothing. Just the usual. What on? Just. Do something about this, shouted Sona who held the sensation at the tentacle that rubbing her not so big chest. Naruto rubbing his chin with thoughtful face. Do I have to? Asked Naruto with innocent tone. Yes HNGH. That's why. Hurry, up, said Sona with sensual tone as she holds the urge to moaning. A smirk formed in Naruto's face. Do I really have to do that? Ye on, Yes, just. Do it. I can't. Hold it. Anymore. Muttered Sona with red face while breathing hard, makes the sound more erotic than before. Naruto decided to tease the Citri heiress more. Do I really just fucking kills them already? A yell from Sona makes Naruto pouted. Fine. Naruto twirled the three-pronged kunai in his hand then gripped it in backhand position. He saw several tentacles going to his direction then decided to jump back with extra backflips to dodge as another one. Naruto standing indifferently then he take a deep breath and release it as green jagged aura covered the kunai now. More tentacles slithering to his direction, it's surrounding him from different angles that looked impossible for the blonde janitor to dodge it, but in the last second before it could touch the blonde. Whoosh, he disappeared from there and made those tentacles tangled, tying themselves. Slash 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 several slashing sounds can be heard, followed by those monsters who dead silently as they turn to green lights. The student council members who already fall to the ground are currently caressing either their head or arse to lessen the pain, save for Sona who carried like a princess by Naruto. Order is accomplished, princess, said Naruto with playful grin on his face. Sona look at the blonde in awe for a moment, before closing her eyes and take a breath. Well, good job. Now put me down, said Sona calmly but with a red tin on her face. Hi, said Naruto amusedly as he complied it. Injured? Asked Naruto as he see the Citri heiress who check herself. Nope. Just. Humiliated. There's still more of them by the way, said Sona tiredly, as she could sense more than 10 stray devils who hiding in the shadows. Naruto twirling his kunai again. I know, one is quite good at hiding. How good? Asked the short black-haired young woman with serious face. I'll give the guy 7 out of 10. Answered Naruto indifferently. Sona openly sighed after heard that, for the blonde rated the enemy high enough. An SS class, huh? What a troublesome. Then she faces at Tsubaki and the other, before walk to them. You know what to do. Muttered Sona, didn't bother to saw a nod from Naruto. Is everyone alright? Asked Sona to the student council members that rather far from her. Tsubaki nodded, yes, thanks to Naruto Dono, no one injured badly, said the vice president followed by nods from Genshiru and the others. Good, because I want all of you to be prepared now, said Sona as she looks at some direction. The student council members are following their president's gaze, to the dark shade that uncovered by light in that place, before saw several red eyes gleaming directed at them. One by one, the owner of those gleaming eyes are showing themselves, which actually belongs to monsters that have an appearance like a werewolf but only has one eye on their head. A bead of sweat trailed down from Genshiru's temple, he looked at those stray devils and can't be helped grimaced after counting there's more than 10 of them. Saji, calm down, you are too tense. A serious tone from Tsubaki gained his attention. Listen, you're not alone in here, so don't think unnecessary stuff. We are not weak, some small fries like this is nothing to us, continued the long black-haired girl with calmer tone. Genshiru relaxed a little after heard that. It's rare for him, no, it's the first time he heard those words from the vice president. Hi, Fuku Keiku, said Genshiru confidently. The others who heard it also become composed, but still ready to confront the stray devils that surround them. A small smile was formed in Sona's face when saw the display, before replaced by seriousness. Tsubaki, Yura, you two will be the vanguard. Hanakai, Kusaka, support them with magic. Tsubaki nodded then summoned her Naginata before give it a heavy swing. Hi, Keiku. Tsubasa did quick limber up before do her battle stance, meanwhile Momo and Rhea preparing their magic. I understand, Keiku, said Tsubasa determinedly meanwhile Momo and Rhea just nodded. Nimura, you're going to protect Hanakai and Kusaka. As for you, Saji, use your sacred gear to support them from surprise attack. Leave it to me, Keiku. Come, line, said Genshiru as he calls his sacred gear in appearance of a black chameleon like with violet eyes and deformed face. Good, then. Now go. Then with a shout from their king, the student council member complied their order. Naruto chuckled after saw how Sona assessing the situation, before confused when feel someone is missing from the group. Where's Tomoeki? Asked Naruto as he furrowing his eye to search the girls with reddish brown hair. In hospital. Got stabbed by a sword this morning. Naruto became silent after heard that. Ah. Okay. Is the only come from her mouth, before clap his hands twice then pray for her recovery. So. Anything for me, princess? Asked Naruto playfully. Sona show her deadpan face to Naruto. Go eat ramen or something, and inform me when that SS class rank decided to show himself, said Sona with indifferently as she focusing her attention on the battle in front of her. Naruto blinked, twice, before he shrugged then give the Citri heiress a mocking salute. Aye, ma'am, said Naruto, before he sit on the ground, summon a cup of instant ramen and a thermos, do the necessary stuff to cook the instant ramen, and then eat it. With audible slurp, he ate the instant ramen while watched the battle with slight interest. And ignoring several strays that stood still in the shadows watching him. He saw how Tsubaki skillfully using her naginata, easily slashed some strays with elegant move, dodged an attack then parry another one from her side, before move her body to make horizontal arc swing to slash the unlucky enemies. A surprise attack came from behind the vice president, only for interrupted by Tsubasa who elbowed the werewolf-like to the side. Naruto stopped eating for a moment for chuckled when the stray tried to say something, but interrupted when the blue-haired girl mercilessly kneed him in the head. The blonde-haired janitor turned facing at the two whom using magic in the team and the one who has dragon-based sacred gear. By the way, he's still ignoring the stray devils behind him that keep increasing, don't know if they are too stupid or waiting in order to attack him and Sona. Naruto raised his eyebrows with impressed face when saw how Raya, Momo and Genshiro are working as the playmaker. The brunette with blue headband and the white-haired girl are either disturb the enemy by paralyzing or burn them, or killing the unfocused strays with earth spikes and several blades of wind. However, he tilting his head in confusion at why they not using water-based magic, before shrugged his shoulder and decided to focus at Genshiro. Naruto could feel the efforts that Genshiro shows. The pawn that is sacred gear in his body was either protecting or attacking the enemy passionately. He attacked the one that come closer to the magic users, and bind several stray devils who tried to attack the other student council members. Naruto turned his head at the last one. And can't be helped sweat dropped after saw how Ruruko fight. The girl with brown hair that tied in twin tail has a rather familiar unique fighting style. Using her reflex, she barely dodges the incoming attack before either counter or engage another enemy then fights back one from before. He rather reminded by how Jackie Chan fighting in those movies when Ruruko grab anything. Anything, including broken chair, plastic bottle, or even her own shoes to distract the enemy before attack them. I can't tell if she is a genius or plainly scared. However, from her surprised expression. Trailed off Naruto as he flinched when saw Ruruko kicked one of the stray devil's balls. Damn, that must be hurt, said Naruto as he deadpanned when saw the unlucky ones writhing in the ground with foam out from its mouth, before dispersed in green lights. Okay, make a mental note to watch out for that girl. Naruto drink the soup until the instant ramen empty then throw it to the back, make one of stray devils twitching its eyebrows in anger when the cup hit its head. The stray devil had enough of waiting, it take a step to the front, before stopped after felt a killing intent leaked as a warning from the owner of hazel eyes that watching from another place. The order is clear. Wait until the permission is given. Naruto who felt it just yawned, but still prepared if the one that hiding decided to attack. He focusing back at the student council members, before rose from the ground when saw the fight is near its end. Well, I think it's the time for the rest of them to move now, said Naruto as he summoned something like water inside a glass bottle and throw it to Sona. Sona catch the bottle and give a curt nod to the blonde. I see. Looks like the one that hiding is really just want to measure us, said Sona as she brings the bottle in front of her face and examine it. Naruto furrowing his eyes to see the last stray that attacked Tsubaki and the others was dead and vanished into green lights. Whatever, let's finish this quickly, said Naruto as he turning back and smirked when feels the stray devils tensed. Wait, halted the short black-haired woman. I'll do it by myself, continued Sona as her body emitting blue lights for a second. Seeing the blonde has a question in his face, Sona explained her reason. Lately, I'm very busy so didn't have time to train, and I guess this could vent my stress a little. Turning back, she looking at where the tentacle devils before. Besides, I'm still angered because of what happened before. I'm sure your main reason is the later one, thought Naruto with flat looks. Well, it's fine I guess. By the way, need this? Asked Naruto as he offering the three-pronged kunai on his right hand, and several black pills on his left. Only for sweat dropped when the girl ignoring him as dark aura out from her body her. Payback. Muttered Sona as her body is trembling, a shade covering half of her face with eyes that become unfocused. That's right, no one allowed seeing me like that except Naruto-kun. No. It's unforgivable, for them to see me like that. I can't forgive them. This is bad, her yandere switch was triggered. Thought Naruto while still deadpanned at the girl, before took a step back when a glee smile suddenly formed on Sona's face. Ah. That's right, why don't I just erase their memory before kill them? And to make sure it works. I'll use the brick instead, you fufafu scary. Naruto gives Sona a dry stare, this girl. Her personality is really nasty when like this, thought Naruto before sighed loudly. Okay, stop right there. Then he bobbed Sona's head. A cute yelp out from Sona's mouth. She caressing her head, then facing at Naruto with teary face. Ooh. Why did you do that? Whined Sona like a child, before blinked and tilting her head in confusion. Huh? What happened? Naruto kept the dry stare for several seconds. You lost your focus for a moment. Sona blinked again, twice. Lost my focus? How? Asked the Citri heiress before shook her head. Whatever, there's something more important right now. You are amazing, you know, in a way. A red tint appeared on Sona's cheek. Really? Asked the girl, slightly surprised at the sudden compliment. That's not a compliment. Sona quickly turned to another direction in anger. Humph. By the way, there's a cute pout on her face. Ha. 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 Panted Genshiro, before collapsed to the ground. Is that all, Fuku Keiku? Asked Genshiro after gulping in air. Tsubasa, Raya, Momo, and Ruruko were no better than he was. They also exhausted, panting, and sweating profusely, which makes a glimpse of their undergarment visible because how wet their clothes is. The one who not looks so exhausted is Tsubaki. The vice president, who just sweats a bit, is still standing and checking her surround. She took a deep breath and let it out, before relaxed after sensed none around her. Yes, looks like we've completed our part. For now, let's take a rest while watching those two, said Tsubaki as she takes a sit on the ground and facing at Naruto and Sona's place. Huh? What do you mean, Fuku Keiku? Asked Raya before following where Tsubaki looking at. The others also decided to do the same, before surprised when saw Sona and Naruto, who trapped inside mass of those werewolf-like monsters that circling them. This is bad. Genshiro rose up from the ground and ready to help his king, only for halted by Tsubaki's hand in front of him. What are you doing, Fuku Keiku? Sona Keiku is in. Stop it, Saji, said Tsubaki sternly. You all too, continued the vice president as she facing the rest student council members. There's something I want you all to see. Genshiro, Momo, Raya, and Ruruko look each other in confusion at what actually their vice president wants to say. Putting her hand down, Tsubaki continued. I know. Some of you must have thinking that Sona Keiku is weak, because it's always us who confronted the stray devils in this town while she only gives the order from the school. What Tsubaki said was hitting the nail. Genshiro and the others who actually thought what the vice president said, slightly averting their gaze. From among us, only Meguri and I who had seen how Keiku fight. That's why I want you all to see this. Because your king is far from the word weak, finished Tsubaki as she focusing her gazes at her king and the blonde enigma. The rest student council members become curious. One by one they sit properly on the ground, then decided to do what the woman with long black hair said. They saw Sona standing in front of Naruto as she facing those monsters with calm face. More like bored, while the blur that's circling them increasing their pace and keep like that for some seconds. Then after Sona throws something like a glass bottle upwards, their opinion about their king is weak changed drastically. It's all started by the Citri heiress stomp the ground, make a loud noise that echoed in that place before chains. Lots of chains that made of water suddenly formed out of nowhere and bind all of those monsters. Not a single sound out from everyone, they either too surprised or there's nothing to be said. Clang. A sound of something break make them focusing their attention to the source. To a glob of water that floating in the midair right above Sona for a few seconds, dispersed to little bullets that going through those werewolf-like monsters. Many sizzling sounds can be heard, followed by the monsters that turned into green lights later, which surrounding the student president and showing a fantasy-like scene like from those movies. Wah! What the? Unfinished words was out from Genshiro's mouth, amazed at how Sona defeated those stray devils with little effort. The stomping part was just for distraction. Keiku created water around her by using magic, then manipulate its form to become chains to bind the enemies. After that, she eliminated them by shooting holy water that compressed to small bullets quickly, accurately, and deadly, explained Tsubaki with approval smile on her face. No time and movement wasted. That's how she fights, continued the queen as she rose up from the ground and start to walk to her king, but before says, don't be mistaken, what you saw before was just a small part of what she can do. And with this, I hope you all would stop playing and be serious on this devil business. There's a silence in there, no one say anything as they are too busy for thinking what the vice student president of Kuo Academy said. We really underestimated Keiku, aren't we? Said Genshiro with a shamed tone. The other also feel the same, they look at either another place or lowering their gaze. Ruruko, who can't stand the atmosphere, suddenly rose up. The brunette who tied her hair in twin ponytails, ignoring the gaze everyone around her, and take a step to the front. She went another few steps before turn around and shows them a bright cheerful smile. Let's go. To our king. Then continue walking to where Sona is. One by one, the others stand up then follow their junior with determination face. Maybe. No, playing time is over. A sigh out from Sona's mouth after she used her magic to exterminate those small fries. And no, it's not a tired sigh, that was a sigh with a hint of arrogant like when you killed a small bug. She looked at what those monsters had become, green lights like a firefly in summer night. How was that? Turning around, Sona facing at the blonde while she put her hands on the back and slightly leaning to the front. A small grin is on her face as the lights that surrounding her increasing the beauty in her. The reply is a silence. Naruto just looks at the young woman in front of him, not say anything and keep looking at her. Her presence looks so beautiful right now, eyes that glimmering of confident gaze, a grin with hint of her pride of her skills, and how the lights surround her body. It is so beautiful to him. His mouth already opened, a word of pretty was ready out from it. Only for stopped when an appearance of a woman that he married long time ago surfaced from his mind. Naruto shake his head to dismiss it and says, "Meh, I can do better," said Naruto arrogantly that makes Sona's eyebrows twitched. "Ha! Why I'm not surprised about it." Sona sighed dejectedly after heard it. For a second, a helpless face formed on Naruto's face, before he changed it with teasing grin. Did Sona-chan expecting something? The reaction he got is Sona averting her eyes with small blush on her face. "Humph. Not really," muttered the Citri heiress. "Ho hoo. Yosh, I understand. Here, your reward," said Naruto as he patting Sona's head, which makes the blush on her face increased. "Wah wah wah oh. You're turning red. That's cute of you, Sona. Choo choo choo." The heat on Sona's face raised, a comical smoke is out from her head as she tried to say something. Before decided to stop it and obediently took her reward. As if some scene from shoujo genre anime, the background around them is changing. Glimmering lights with bubbles effect, heartwarming atmosphere, and, don't know where it comes but there's, soft melody of piano surrounding the two. Romantic. Is what high school girls would say if saw the scene, where a girl who is shy smile when the man that she fond of is patting her head. But sadly, this story is not focusing on romance because the author decides to ruin the scene by make Naruto says. "Huh? Megan Echo? What are you doing in there? WHA? Bam." Instantly, Sona turned around while delivering a hard jab to Naruto's face after heard what he said. In slow motion, Naruto was thrown to another place. Twirling in the air, land. Bouncing several times before crash to a wall. "Why?" muttered Naruto in pain as his body twitching several times. The short black-haired girl turned around, only for her face paled when saw her vice president push her glinting eyeglasses before give her a thumb up. "That was nice one, Keiku." The patting part. As if an explosion, a massive blush formed on Sona's face as unrecognizable words out from her mouth. Shutting her mouth, Sona quickly walked closer to Tsubaki, then put her trembling hands on the vice president's shoulder and give her serious face while still blushing. "Tsubaki, you didn't see anything," said Sona. Tsubaki blinked. What did you? Didn't see anything. Got it? Is what Sona said with teary swirling eyes and persuasive aura as she slowly leaning closer to Tsubaki. A bead of sweat trailed down from Tsubaki's temple, felt that Sona was begging than ordering her. Yes, I didn't see anything." "Good," said Sona as she nodded. The Citri heiress takes a deep breath and releases it to make her calm. "Is everyone okay?" asked Sona, who quickly changed the topic. Tsubaki, who knew it, decided to play along. "Yes, they just tired after fighting them." Her expression was rather changed to serious after some moment. "By the way, Keiku. It's rather unusual for them to appear in this kind of number, isn't it?" "Yeah." Sona turned to some direction as she could feel a gaze from there. "And the reason? Looks like someone want to test us. Or one of us." Tsubaki make a thinking pose. She catch the hint that Sona give, but she can't tell whom is the student president talking about. Is it Keiku because she is the Citri's heiress, or Genchuru because of his dragon-based sacred gear? Or maybe. Trailed off Tsubaki as she looks at where Naruto is. While the two has something on their mind, someone interrupted them. "Keiku, Fuku Keiku." It was from Ruruko with the rest student council members that following her. Sona still looked straight to the one that hiding for a moment, before she turned to facing her pawn. "What is it, Nimura?" I just want to say thanks for the hard work. That was great, Keiku. You finished them just with 2 moves, it's so cool," said Ruruko as she waving her fists up and down excitedly. A small smile formed on Sona's face when she saw the childish part on her pawn. Thank you. Then she looks the rest of them. Is everyone okay? Genshiro take a step to the front and says, nothing to worry about, Keiku. Everyone is fine. I see. Was what Sona said, before another sigh out from her mouth. I hate to say this, but keep your guard up. Eh? Sona understand their confusion, she turned and facing back at the boss who's still hiding within the darkness. We're not done. Right after Sona said that, an unfamiliar feminine sound could be heard in that place. Looks like it's time to make my appearance, Nya. Genshiro facing at the source of that voice, before feels pain on his left hand, right where his sacred gear is. What he saw is a figure with overwhelming aura walk slowly out from the shadows, amused hazel eyes with cat-like pupils that glowing in the dark, and audible steps that increasing the tension in there. Without doubt, he know how strong the enemy this time. Slowly, the lights in that place showing the figure. A young woman who wear black kimono that tied with yellow obi. She also has a rather healthy body, long black hair with a pair of black cat ears on the top, and two black tails that swaying left and right. Without doubt, Genshiro know how sexy the enemy this time. Thwack ga. A fist to his head brings him from his thoughts. Jen, you have a weird face, said Tsubasa as she faces palming. Genshiro caressing his head for a moment with apologetic face, before take a step to the front as he ignoring murderous gaze from two pair eyes behind him. Who are you? Shouted Genshiro as his sacred gear already poised to the woman direction. The others shook their head at how the pawn tried to ignore Ruruko and Momo's dead fish-like eyes, before be prepared as the thought fighting another stray demon crossed in their head. Fufufu, don't be so uptight, Nya. Besides, it takes more than that toy to attack me, Nya, said the young woman with mysterious smile on her face. Sona, who saw something familiar from the figure, decided to take a guess. Hazel eyes, black cat ears and two tails. Is it possible that your name is Kuroka? Ara? It seems the Citri heiress know of me, Nya. Of course, said Sona as she fixing her glasses. You're quite famous after all. A Nekashu who killed her master because drunk of her own powers, a stray devil who could use Senjutsu and Yujutsu, also one of the SS class most wanted criminal in Underworld. Just hearing the possible enemy's rank made Genshiro and the other grimaced. Nya ha ha ha. That's right, Nya, said the newly named Kuroka after give amused laughs. What do you want? Asked Sona as she preparing her magic. Kuroka just waving it off and says, easy there. I'm here, just want to deliver a message, Nya. A message? Asked Sona curiously but still not let her guard down. That's right, Nya tilde. But not only that, the woman paused as she gives Sona a cunning smile. I also want to meet the one that she called Slinking Cat, and her dear Oni. I directly finished the girl with the same smile. A rather long silence formed in there, before it was broke when Sona face palming as her magic circle on her hand was gone. That person, huh? You hear that, Naruto? Yeah, I heard it clearly, said the blonde-haired janitor who's still lying on the ground looking at the ceiling with stoic face. He then lifts his body, before sighing as he's scratching the back of his head with closed eyes. Ha! So, what does office want now? Said Naruto rather seriously. The others that can feel how different the atmosphere decided to make a mental note for ask who this office is later. The woman, Kuroka, start walking slowly to Naruto with seductive smile. She said, Dear my and only my dear Oni, please forgive me for not meet you directly. I really want to meet you, but because of a certain condition, I can't. It was such a-okay, stop. Interrupted Naruto, who massaging his forehead. Please, can you get to the point already? Begged the blonde janitor who has troubled looks. Kuroka shrugged her shoulder. Well, that's okay too. The point is, she wants you to join our organization, Nya. Naruto raised a single eyebrow. It's the first time he heard that shapeshifter make an organization. He turned at Sona in confusion, only to saw the Citri heiress shook her head to tell she also didn't know about it. Why would that? Wait, did you said she earlier? Yep. Naruto eyebrows twitched. Are you sure this she that you're talking about is not a creepy old man with creepy smile and surrounded by creepy aura? Oh, office said she already learning her fault. And she knows that you will prefer her current form than the last one. A relief sighs out from Naruto's mouth. Thank goodness. Now that abomination won't be appear again. Muttered Naruto like a heavy weight lifted from his body, before nauseated when a certain memory about he and his friends chased by an old man wearing a bikini appeared in his head. Not wanting lose to his trauma, the blonde took several deep breaths and released it, then back facing at Kuroka. Okay. Why would she create this organization thingy in the first place anyway? Ignoring his little episode, still smiling, Kuroka facing at Sona then answering it. Well. She told me to not tell the reason if the slinking cat is with you. Now a twitch formed on Sona's eyebrows. And is there a reason why would that stupid snake don't want me to hurt it? Asked Sona with forced smile. I don't know, Nya chirped Kuroka happily, which makes Sona more irritated. The cat girl back facing at Naruto and says, so, how is it? Wanna join? Naruto closing his eyes then give a thought about the offer. He didn't ask further the reason, knowing well that he would get it eventually later from his former partner when traveling around worlds. Ah. By the way, he isn't hers, nor the otherwise. Now, from his experiences. And some elements after watching several action anime. Also reading weekly manga Shonen Jumps, if several people that has superpowers, super weapons, or super thingamajigs with them are creating a team, organization, or whatever that make them working together, they tend to have a cliché goal like 1. For world domination. A thing that what typical villains, people who misled, frustrated, or just bored would do. They usually will be defeated by several peoples who calling themselves as heroes. 2. For world peace. A thing what heroes, peoples has high sense of justice, peoples who just kind or just bored would do. They usually will be break or disbanded by the peoples who don't need them anymore like, well, normal people. 3. To save someone or fight another organization. A plain cliché reason. Naruto think about the merit and demerit. Number 1, world domination? Rejected. If the world taken over, he could get anything he wants. But what he wants? Just one, and he already promised that only Sona who will give it. Besides, if the world really taken over, several problems like rebellion, managing territory, or many troublesome things will come to him eventually. Number 2, world peace? Hell no. The thought he have to save peoples in the name justice and free. There's must be something wrong in off his head if if whatever that shapeshifter is now thought he would do that. And for number 3. Murmured Naruto rather loudly. Every single person become curious now, about what kind of decision the blonde chooses. Well, except Sona. The Citri heiress who already lives with him since a kid is know well how the blonde will react. The murmur become louder, Genshiru and the others become closer. Then when the tension at the peak, Naruto suddenly opens his eyes and showing a determined face, okay, hear my answer. And the next thing he said is, nah. Don't wanna. Too troublesome. A cute face planted for everyone, except Sona who smiled in triumph, proud that her guess for his answer was right. Don't make a serious face if you will reject it in the end, shouted Genshiru who recovered first, but only for ignored by Naruto who waving it off. Kuroka who also recovered give a troubled smile. Maybe if I told you that our organization's name is Chaos Brigade. Trailed off the cat-eared girl. Naruto made a mental note to search anything that related with that name later, but for now, what? That I will think it over? Sorry, cat girl, I don't know that name and don't want to know about it. Now go tell office that I said no because she already knows why. Therefore, that is it. You can go now, said Naruto as he gives Kuroka shooing motion. Well. This is troubling Nya what? Actually, I'm curious about why she want you to join us. And then, when I asked it to her, she said, if you want to know, find it by yourself Nya said Naruto with zero interest in that story. And so? Paused Kuroka as she suddenly appeared in front of Naruto. I want to know it. Finished the woman with seductive smile on her face. Sona standing impassively in contrast to the rest student council member who tensed at the sudden move, before they sweat dropped when saw Naruto who as indifferent face grope the cat girl's breast. Wah. Not bad said Naruto before he disappeared as Kuroka tried to punch him with red hue on her cheek. Bunyu tilde naya. This one is firm, said Naruto who reappeared behind Kuroka then start to grope her ass. Then he disappeared again as the woman tried to knee him. Bunyu who? D-cup, is it? And then he start to grope her breast again. Anya, yelled Kuroka who pissed off now. What? Sure she is playful, sure she enjoys teasing people, but she is not a slut. Moreover, she still's a woman. And like every normal woman, no one liked when someone that she just meet groped her breast. Bunyu tilde or her ass. Grr. You. Muttered the girl with red face before she starts to attack Naruto fiercely, only to be dodged by him. Ohio most of the student council member now face-palmed when saw their school's janitor molested the SS class rank criminal. Thought it's frustrated them, most of the females, they can't be helped impressed at how he dodging those fast punch and kicks. Genshiru walked closer to Sona without moving his gaze from where Naruto and Kuroka are. Ni, Keiku. It may be late for me to say this, but that guy. Is amazing, isn't he? In a way. I mean, look at that. Not even 2 minutes and he already made a most wanted criminal pissed off. By molesting her, said Genchuru as he watched how the Nekashu already frustrated to hit the blonde now. Keiku? Kai felt ignored. Genchuru turned his head before jumped back after he saw what kind of face that Sona has. Cold, murderous with. Didn't know if he was tired or not because those skeletal cats who holding a scythe around his Keiku has looked so real to him. Ka Keiku? What? No nothing. Squeaked Genchuru when that cold gaze directed at him. The secretary of Kuo student council back off and going to the other member. Did you guys know what's wrong with Keiku? Whispered Genchuru. Ha! Genchuru senpai, you really don't know about women's heart, don't you? Sighed Ruruko while shook her head. What do you mean? Asked Genchuru once again. She means Keiku is jealous, Gen-chan. Oh. Wait. What? Yes, even I know that reaction is lame. Please bear it. Ha. 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 Kuroka took several back steps from the blonde molester. Wheezing with red face, don't know because tired or aroused. He, what's wrong tilde? This Ojisan still can play tilde? Said Naruto, who doing groping motion with his hands and has a face like a perverted business old man from a nightclub. Ugh. Kuroka was grimaced. Not because looking at the face of this blonde molester in front her, but because she, a Nekashu, one of the species of yokai who has a great reflexes and heightened sense, can't even land at a single hit on him. And the most frustrating thing was he kept molesting her while dodged all her attacks. When she tried to use a poisonous mist, the man snapped his fingers, then something sucked the mist. When she tried to use Senjutsu, it was cancelled every time he touched, groped, her. How the heck he did that? When she tried to use Ujutsu, the man just laughed it off. He even said, this kind of illusion is just a child's play compared from what my old rival can do. And when she tried to use space manipulation, he said, really, are you kidding me? While cancelled her attempt. Damn, the last one is hurt. Then she realized something. How if it was a punch, kicks, slash, or even stab from a weapon instead his hands who groped him? Damn, he really outdoes her. Ha, she sighed in defeat, already know it was her lose. Fine, I admit you are strong. I'll back off now. Sorry for the troubles nya, it's over already? She giggled when he whining. It's somewhat cute when he pouts. Bam. And she giggled harder when a brick hit the man. Seems like the slinking cat as office dubbed was angered. Oh, so that's how it is. Seems like the dragon god didn't looks as heartless as she know tilde. Nya haha. Sorry nya, I have to go and inform office. But if you want something more than that, maybe we can arrange it one day nya. She tilt her head to dodge the brick that just passed her. Nya ha ha ha. Using her magic, she already prepared to go from there. Then, see you latte, this presence. Crash. A sound of something break from above them interrupted Kuroka, before whatever that make the sounds fell with audible thud right next to the cat girl. Ooh. Muttered Naruto and several member of student council in pity and disgust after saw what actually fell. Someone with brown hair who dressed in tattered red armor and black pants, with face kissing the ground while there is a piece of paper on his head. But that's not what makes them look at him in pity and disgust. It was the rod that stuck out from his butt. Bye. Baiku? Shouted Kuroka to the newly named Baiku. Crash. Another sound something breaks can be heard, along with another body that fell next to Baiku. Someone with blonde hair and tattered business suit. With a scroll stuck on the butt. Again, Naruto and the others look at the body with pity and disgust. Arthur? Shouted Kuroka once again. Looks like the two are her companions. This. Trailed of the cat ears woman as she read the paper. I see. So they failed too. Naruto, who already behind the woman, snatched the papers then read it aloud. For Naruto in there. Tell this wannabe monkey king for not stalking me anymore or I'll put something bigger than a rod to his ass. Also, the company needs your sign to make the place bigger. Several new idols joined. So, come back to check them. From number 4 PS. Tell Sona I say hi. Well, that's explained why there's a rod on his ass. He angered the wrong person after all, said Naruto, who referred to the brown-haired man before read the other paper. To Naruto-san in there, please tell the man that I said it was a good fight. Ah, and please unseal the holy sword on the scroll. From number 8 PS. It was number 9 who stuck the scroll in his butt. PS. Tell Sona Oju I said hi. A holy sword? Muttered Naruto to himself before he pulled the scroll, with putting gloves from goddamn nowhere first of course. No way he would touch something that already plunged into someone's arse with bare hand. Nah. Yada, and unseal the content in it. Oh, Cole-kun. Been so long since I saw you, said Naruto casually as he gives a swing after unseal the sword. That's. Trailed off Kuroka after saw the familiar sword. A holy sword. Finished Sona that makes several member of student council tensed after heard it. A holy sword? Questioned Genshiro, who heard something new to him. Well, it's not so surprising to the others because he just recently became a devil. It's a weapon that forged by the god that could give a lethal damage to a devil just with one small scratch, Gen-chan. Explained Momo to her junior. Just with one small scratch? Surprised the male who never thought such a weapon as exist. Naruto. Which one is it? Asked Sona while ignoring the blonde who using the sword like a shaver. Yep. Just ignore it. She knew he just messing with her after heard how it could give a lethal damage. You know the story about that King Arthur thingy? Asked Naruto nonchalantly as he used the sword as a mirror now. Eh? Then, it's really. Muttered Sona, who surprised to know one of the true holy swords is in front her. Keiku, do you know that sword? Asked Genshiro, who confused about the situation. The other behind him not so different. How far did you know a story about King Arthur from England, Saji? Asked Sona. If I'm not wrong, it's about a great warrior who became a king after could pull a sword that embedded on a stone, then get a sword called Excalibur from Lady of the Lake. Wait, don't tell me. That sword is Excalibur? Sona shook her head. No. It's true that King Arthur got a powerful sword called Excalibur, but before he got it, he actually already has another powerful one. Explained Sona before focused the sword in Naruto's hand. Remember the sword and the stone that he pulled? That's it, the strongest holy sword, Caliburn. Though several peoples also called it Colbrand, continued Sona as she frowned at Kuroka now. That makes me curious. How he has that sword. Moreover, the fact you know him, he must be also a member of your organization. Kuroka let the question hanging in the air for a moment. She was too busy for watching Naruto who playing with a sword that can kill her with wary. Not all people who show you a smile is a friend. She knew it from experience. Yes, you're right about he is in our group. But how he has it? I don't know, I do not know him that well. Finally answered the cat girl who still focused on the blonde. Though what she said was a lie. Well, whatever, said Naruto as he sealed the sword once again. Here, give it to office. She knows what to do. Then he tossed the scroll which caught by Kuroka. Now, go. Because those two seams need some butt treatment. Kuroka looked at the blonde for a moment, searching intent like a surprise attack or something like that. Didn't found anything. She gave him a nod before she grabbed the two-person and leave the place. Is it wise to let her go just like that? And why'd you give back the holy sword to them? Asked Sona, who annoyed not only because Naruto just gave a powerful weapon to an enemy, but he also too carefree for letting them go just like that. Who knows if they decided to come back and make a trouble in the future. Well. First, do you think they will pass from our radar just like that? No, I know you don't. You just too worried, Sona, said Naruto as he walking out from there. And second, whether using a stick or a holy sword, the one who has higher specs is the one who will win in a sword fight. Sona rolled her eyes at those unrelated cheesy lines before she and the others start to out from that place too. Naruto. Called the girl with violet eyes to the blonde who slightly far from her. What? Asked the blonde without turning back. Don't think you can escape just like that. You still have to patrol the town. The janitor face planted after heard the forgotten request, makes she and several people around her either chuckled or giggling when he shouted that she ruined his awesome moment. Ha! Walking with sour face, we found our blonde protagonist currently walking to his beloved cabin. Tired, actually, not really, and want nothing more than taking a bath after patrolling the town. It's unfair. Why he have to continues patrol the town after rescuing them from those tentacles, alone? A grin slowly formed on his face after sensing a familiar energy signature in his cabin, before continues walking with newly recharged energy. Oh, how exited he was to know what kind of disaster that befall upon that fallen angel. After all, he received information one of those clones that he sent was turned out to be another glitch one. You know, like the exploding warehouse incident before. Now that makes him feel sick. He is curious about one thing, though. Why the cat from before was in his cabin, or more exactly, in his room. Well, let's find out by open this door and meet the girl behind it. Welcome back, Oni-chan greeted the familiar fallen angel who has very sweet smile to him with sparkling effect around her that makes the younger blonde look like an angel, even though she is a fallen one. Mit-chan tilde, shouted Naruto as he glomped the fallen angel. You're back. Is that means you've finished observing them? How is it, how is it? Questioned Naruto, who start rubbing his cheek to her. Hi. That was easy, Oni-chan, said Middle, who still has that sweet smile. Oh, that's good. Now for celebrate your success, Oni-chan will cook something special for you. Naruto released his hug and walked to the kitchen. Really? Why? Shouted Middle in glee before following him. By the way, Oni-chan. It is possible that you know something about unusual clothes, a rather familiar perverted giggles when I took a bath, and several bears that suddenly appeared on the days I observed the Gremory girl finish the fallen one who still smiling. Naruto turned back and facing at the blonde girl with best poker face. Yes, I mean no. Bastard. In a split of second, the angelic face was broken, as light pink spears already formed in Middle hand before she quickly thrust it to Naruto. The blonde devil who saw it in slow motion grabbed the spears that just 1 inch before it hit his temple. Forgetting it was light-based spear. Hot 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 hot, shouted Naruto, who start doing something pointless thing like blowing the tip of the spear with his mouth. Die. You, said Middle, who push her spears as hard as she can. Wait. Calm down, Mid-chan, said Naruto, who holding the pain in his hands. Calm down? You told me to calm down after I hold those 10 torturing days? Those 10 fucking torturing days? Sorry? The answer is just the spears that became an inch closer. You know. Muttered Middle with shadow covered her face. Wore that clothes, I can stand it. Being peeped, I also can stand it. Good job? Naruto actually give a damn not care about that. His hands currently burned, so there is no time to worry about such a damn thing. The problem was those bears. I thought it was a normal animal at first, continued Middle before she raised her head and showing Naruto her desperate tears. But it's actually several people who wear a bear costume. Do you know how frightened I was when chased by those pedo bears? The light spear become larger, which makes Naruto look at it in terror. What? The spear. The spear. Somehow, my wings can't fold out, my spears were dodged. All of them. Do you know how scared shitless I was when running from those creatures? Said the fallen angel before she also terrified while remembering something. Those glowing eyes. Those pants. And those mouth that chanting word lolly over and over. Ooh-ah. Ooh-ah. Naruto also shrieked as he saw the spears become closer and closer. I understands. I'm sorry, I was the one at fault, so please put the spears away. Wow, cried the girl with waterfall tears while still pushing her spears. That time, Naruto is forgetting that he could replace himself with something around him. Well, people tend to do that when they trying to push back someone who want to stab something sharp to their head. They are busy to think how they could get the damn things out from their vision. The source was from the author who is similar situation. Though it just a toy knife. Still, it's scary. Anyway, the two blondes keep like that. One who want to stab the source of her misfortune, and one who want to get the damn light spear out from his vision. Didn't realize being watched by uninvited guest on their left. What are you two doing, nya tilde? The question made the two blondes snap their head to the source. It also makes the light spears gone, much to relief for Naruto, and found it was Kuroka with still in her black kimono with yellow obi around her waist. Who? Shouted Middle, who already standing with her own battle stance on, before startled when Naruto glomped the woman. Ooh-ah, shouted Naruto, who rested his head to those soft fleshes on the woman's chest. I was so scared, and start wailing like a child. Nya ha ha ha. There, said Kuroka, who play along with his act as she patting the older blonde. Middle slightly relaxed when thought the woman probably Naruto's acquaintance. Even though relaxed, she didn't let her guard down, her secret was out after all. And what she know, fallen angels not really liked by either angels or devils. Still, looking at Naruto's fake cry with gleeful face is annoying. A moment later, so, who is she? Asked Middle. Oh. Let me introduce you, coughing twice, Naruto motioned his hand to the young woman. Middle, this is Kuroka, a cat. Then he facing at the cat girl. And Kuroka, this is Middle, a bird. The unusual yet right to the point introduction got a perfect flat stare from Middle as the result. Nya ha ha ha. A bird, you say? Then in a blink of second, Kuroka already behind Middle. Maybe I'll eat her, nya. Then she hugged her as she binding her movement, then nipping Middle's ear. HN? Middle was shocked at the sudden contact. Sensually, Kuroka's hands start to explore her body, caressing tenderly that makes Middle shuddered at the touch. What are? Shutting her eyes, she tried to resist the feeling when felt the woman's hand going to her still growing chest. No. Don't. There. Begged the fallen angel when felt a hand moving to her private area. So cute, nya, said Kuroka seductively as she licked Middle's cheek, Before smack. A horizon hit her. Okay, that's enough. You can do that later, said Naruto in displeasure, though the camera on his hand told differently. A pout from Kuroko was the answer, before surprise the little blonde girl already gone from her embrace. Wah wah wah. What's with her? Shouted Middle-to peeking behind a couch while blushing and holding tears that leaked from her eyes. What kind woman that? Licked and. Middle didn't said the rest, but the smoke that out from her head told the two it's something very embarrassing for her. Nya ha ha ha. Sorry, it seems I overdid it nyan. Kuroka chirped happily in contrast to what she says. Whatever. So, what are you doing in here? Didn't I clearly refuse the offer before? Asked Naruto, who already sit on the couch where Middle still watched Kuroka warily from behind him. Looks like the younger blonde forgot about her misery that caused by the older. What do you mean by said no? What offer? Questioned Middle with confused face. Ah, an acquaintance of mine want to join. Her organization, was it? Asked Naruto to remind him again, which replied by a nod from Kuroka. They want me to join their organization, but I refused it. What organization? Why? Asked Middle again. Don't know, and I refused it because I don't want to. Besides, I enjoyed being in here. You know, teasing, pranking, blackmailing, harassing. Naruto stopped after aware the dry stare he received from Middle. Well, harassing aside, said Kuroka, who gained the two blonde attention. After I gave a report to office, she said she doesn't want to give up and have to find another way. Then after think about it, she gave me an order to observe you and find anything that could make you join us nya. Paused Kuroka, who also sit on other couch. And so, why are you here now? Middle actually curious about this office person, but she more confused about this molester in front her now. As far she knows, observing is same as spying. You know, undercover, stalking, and something likes that. Well, I know how strong he is nya. I realized it after our confrontation before, said Kuroka, whose small blush appeared in her cheek. The memory of how he groped her was the reason, by the way. Aha. Though that's still not explained why you're here, said Naruto, who not interested in that and want to know her reason. Ah, that's because when I asked Office how I could observe you without being found out? Then Office said just live with him, he won't mind it. And that's why I'm in here. Ah, by the way, it was Office who broke the wards in this place. So. Ny nyaha ha ha. Trailed of Kuroka, as she herself didn't know why she nervous at the flat stares from the two blondes. Really? And why do you think we would let you stay in here? Asked Middle, who questioned the mental of this molester in front her now. There are so many things she wants to retort, but decided to ask that question instead. Well. Because I'm sexy nya? Middle give a dry stare to the cat girl. Great. Hello ladies and gentlemen, we got an idiot in here. Before she turned her head to Naruto. Oi, Naruto. What do you? Oh no. She really not like how the blonde looked thinks serious about this matter. Actually, Naruto is thinking to improve the seal around his cabin. He should make it only he and several people he wants could find the cabin. He also thought about the situation. If he doesn't let this cat girl in, then he will have a stalker in the future. That won't do, because he doesn't want to be watched when he went to bathroom or doing man things. However, if he let her in. Why are you looking at me like that? Asked Middle nervously. She really doesn't like that Cheshire grin on Naruto's face. Don't tell me, you'll let her stay in here. No way. I disagree. Nah. The fallen angel shook her head rapidly. She still loves man, thank you. Oh Mit-chan, it's fine isn't it? She could be your another female friend. Convinced Naruto, though he actually doesn't have to because technically the cabin is his after all. That's right, Mit-chan, said Kuroka, who already hugging Middle from behind while rubbing her cheek, make the younger blonde cringed. We could become a friend. She leaned closer to the fallen angel's ears and whispered sensually, a really close friend nya kya. Shrieked Middle, who pushed Kuroka but in vain because the cat girl was too strong for the little bird. Naruto sighed dramatically at the display. This kind of joke is getting old now. I'm not even interested on it anymore. Say that while not holding a camera in your hands. Ah, sorry. It was my instinct. What kind of instinct is that? And you, get off of me already. Don't be like that nya. I know you love it nyan. No I don't. Are you in heat or something? Then just go rape that the bastard over there, not me. Yes, why don't you wait? Who are you called bastard, you barely pass lolly. Actually, she is right nya, said Kuroka as she released Middle, who already in corner of the room while shouting, thank you my lord even though you already dead, then turned to Naruto while licked her lips sensually. Now why don't this one E-san teach you the wonder of a BC? Then she start moving on fours like a cat to his direction. She moves with cat ears already popped out, hips swaying seductively, a glimpse of her white cream breast can be seen, and smile that screams ooh sexy was plastered on her face. Naruto hold his desire, and Naruto Jr., while gives the Nekashu his best poker face and says, sorry, I'm not interested in reverse rape play right now. And let me remind you that I am the cook in this house. So if you don't stop, be ready to eat cup ramen or canned sardines for the rest of your days when live in here. I don't mean you also have to sleep on the floor and do your own laundry. Interrupted Naruto as he gives a challenging looks. Kuroka, who heard it, stopped her tracks, before vanished from his sight. Kya! Naruto ignored Middle's scream and start walking to the kitchen to prepare the dinner. Wow, that was close one. What? He is woman lovers, not a womanizer. There is a difference between them, mind you. Ooh. Whined Middle cutely as the displeasure from the woman who's still hugging from her side increasing. Just accept it already, Mit-chan. It like the cat eats the canary. Though the definition of eat this time is different, said Naruto casually besides the two women. Shut up, you baka Naruto. You are the one who not. Ooh. Middle whined again as her face flushed in embarrassment, remembered something that rated R18 from before. I know you love it, nyan. No I don't, you horny cat. Nya. Mit-chan become soon Naruto, Middle, and Kuroka now are walking inside of Kuo Academy, more exactly on hall to the student council place where they will watch Rias and the other battling the Phoenix guy in raiding game. Naruto asked Middle to come with him for explaining about the result of Issei's training, much to her relief for get away from the cat, but then Kuroka wants to watch because it seems interesting, and much to Middle's displeasure about it. Though Naruto know, there is more to it after he saw the longing face when he mentioned Issei and his team. Well. Here is it, said Naruto as he opened the door to the student council room. Are we too early, nya? Naruto also confused when found the place was empty. Did Sona forget about it? Focusing his sense, he could found the student president and her vice president in occult research club's room with Issei and the others, but he couldn't find the Saji and the rest student council members in the school. Nope. Sona and Tsubaki are with Issei, denied Naruto. So, is it only us who will monitor them? Naruto give a thought about it, before an idea appeared in his head. Nah, that won't do. Then, what should we do? Back home? Questioned Middle. Nope, we just have got them here? Middle and Kuroka exchanged looks after they saw Naruto grab something that resembled as a dagger out of nowhere, before throw it to the ground and do a weird sign with his right hand. Reverse summoning. Was what the two heard before lots of smokes and several sounds something dropped in there. Kya? Wah? Ouch. Owie. Ma. Uck. The smokes disappeared, revealing the owner of those groans. Well. That was quick. This came from Middle, who saw another thing that the blonde whiskers can do, summoning. Actually, he said reverse, but still, that was quite impressive. You're right, nya. Though Kuroka didn't look so surprised about it. Wah. You, shouted a familiar blonde-haired secretary of Kuo Academy's student council, Saji Genshiro, as he finally saw Naruto and the two. The others also tensed, except Tomoe, who confused about why they did that. Yo, sorry for calling you suddenly, said Naruto with nonchalant tone. Though he sweat dropped when saw they are clad in their own pajamas. Namikaze, what is the meaning of this? Why is that woman in there? And Nanami-san? Saji was surprised and confused at the same time, but he more confused when saw someone that he knew just as a normal student in there. Well, I suppose a bit of explanation is in order. So, you mean Middle-san in here is actually a fallen angel under name Nanari, and sent here to observe Hayatu's boosted gear on behalf of the fallen angel fraction? Yeah. And for Kuroka san, she is staying in your place to observe his weakness? That's right, nyan. Ha, Genshiro sighed tiredly, before he looks at Naruto with serious face. Can we trust them for not causing troubles? Don't worry, I'll make sure about it, said Naruto nonchalantly, which only makes Genshiro more worried. Like I said, everything is under control. Trust me. Well, I'm not really surprised about Nana. I mean, Middle-san is not a normal human, stated Tsubasa. How so? Rhea yawned after asked that. Well, you all know that I currently train. Got an advice, interrupted Naruto. Sorry, sensei. Well, you know that I asked an advice to train my powers from Naruto sensei, right? Wonder why you want that, but yes, we know, said Tomoe. Sometimes, Middle-san just passing by without questioning or confused when saw us. Also, Naruto-sensei seems calling Middle-san with Mit-chan instead Nanari, continued Tsubasa. But that doesn't mean she is a supernatural being, pointed Tomoe. It is not. I was convinced when. Well. I was overheard her asking Naruto-sensei about how to make her light spears denser. Middle tensed in response to that. Meanwhile Naruto sighed deeply. Ha! See? I told you to discuss something like that on night only, but no. You said, no one is gonna hear us after all. Okay, I was wrong. But that doesn't explain why you reveal my identity to them. Complained embarrassed Middle. I thought it would make easier for them when we watching Issei and the others. Answered Naruto indifferently. Wait, what you mean by watching Hayato? Interrupted Genshiro. Naruto tilting his head in confusion. Didn't Sona told you that today Issei and the others from Occult Research Club will have their first rating game? No, she didn't. The blonde make a thinking pose. Well, that means you're lucky that I bring you all here, continued the janitor with a smirk. Instead, happy or excited, the rest student council member has sad or serious face as if thinking about something. Naruto knows, they either think that the Citri era still not trusts nor have confidence in them. Ha! Throw that negative thoughts from your mind. You all are tired from what happened today, and your king just thought the best for you all. Genshiro and the others slightly calmed after heard that. Naruto nodded at how awesome his persuading skill, before a thought crossed in his mind. Well then. Before we watch the show, a rather familiar Cheshire grin formed on his face. How about a refresher? In another place, Sona and Tsubaki are walking to the student council room's direction. The two just gave Rias and her peerages a support for their first rating game. Keiku, are they really gonna be okay? Questioned Tsubaki as she following her king one step from behind. Honestly. I don't know, said the short-haired woman calmly. Even if Rias has the secure UDI with her, the opponent has more experiences after all, continued Sona as the two already arrived in front of the student council room. Well. What we can do now, just monitoring them. With twisting the doorknob, they went into the room. Click only for. Yay. Mina, arigatou, thank you, everyone, trailed of Naruto as he saw Sona and Tsubaki standing with flat eyes on their face. What Sona and Tsubaki saw was the student council room, who usually has neat and tidy atmosphere with plain table, chairs, and shelves, that his school's documents now has exciting aura with 2 sofas, disco lights, a TV, snacks and drinks on the table instead. Ah. This comes from several members of student council who realize the situation. In each member, they are clad in pajamas and either holding snacks, drinks, or even a tambourine. Click. Sona closed the door as she made thinking pose and pondering if she got the wrong room, before looked at the plate name at above her. Student council room, a dark aura surrounded Sona. Tsubaki's sweat dropped when she saw the gesture, feeling nervous for what kind of disaster that gonna happen. Tsubaki, hi, Keiku, this. We are in front of the student council room, aren't we? Yes. It's not a karaoke room, right? No. It's not, Keiku, I see. Click. Sona entered the room. With a brick in her hand. Along with the student, president and her vice president that went in, Middle and Kuroka can be seen slightly far from that place. The two are currently walking to the room while carrying bags of foods and snacks on their hands. Looking at their face, the fallen angel looked not so happy with the pout on her face, very different with Kuroka, who is big grin. That lazy baka Naruto, can't he use his clone or something to go shopping instead? Grumbled Middle, still with that cute pout. Well, it's fine, isn't it, nya? Middle sighed tiredly. You can say that because we also bought your needs. Stupid D-cup brah. Muttered the fallen angel on the last. Nya, ha ha ha, sorry about that, nya. Middle's eyebrows twitched, how the Catwoman saying it cheerfully just increasing her rage. But I'm curious, when you said, using his clone. Could he use Yujutsu too? Questioned Kuroka. I don't know about that Yujutsu thingy, but yes, he could make a clone using chakra or whatever. Kuroka's eyes sharpened for a second. And it's so annoying when he did that just for tease me. I can't tell where the real one because they are solid like the original, not an illusion like in some ninja movies. That must be hard, Kuroka musing aloud, but actually make a mental note for that. A solid clone is rare after all. You bet, sighed Middle once again as they already arrived in front of the student council room. Now let's get in. So before Middle could finish it, she and Kuroka heard several unusual things from the student council room, and oddly enough, it sounded like a mass murderer from first-rated movie that doing his job. You know, something like shouts, yells, blunt weapon meat flesh, and someone who cried, "It's all Naruto's fault, so please don't kill Gebu." Or something like, "Everyone, run away." Sona's beast mode Hagua, the last two sounds exaggerated, but it is in there. Maybe we should wait until. Whatever happened in there is stopped, nya? Offered Kuroka. Yes. Yes, we should, and Middle very agree with that. A moment later, so, what are you doing in here? Questioned Sona calmly to Kuroka. Ah, I'm just tagging along. Don't mind me, nya, said Kuroka sheepishly while doing waving motion with her hand. Fine, just don't interrupt while we doing our thing. Sona casually leaned back and start focusing her attention to Rias and the others. Roger, nya. Chirped happily, as the cat girl give a salute. In that room, there are Sona, Tsubaki, Kuroka, and Middle who looks healthy, the other member of student council who has bumps on their head, and Naruto who. Why? His face beaten badly that makes almost unrecognized. You know why, said Sona indifferently. But I'm just bring Tomoe-ki and the others to watch the rating game. Argued Naruto. Not that, you stupid ramen topping. I'm talking about why you changed this place, reasoned Sona. But, it's boring to waiting you. And the others seems need a refresher. Was the comeback from Naruto. Is that your reason for getting wild in a place for discussing about this school, students? Asked Sona, who not want to give in. It's night right now, and the school time is already over. So you could say it was free to do anything in it. You realize this is a school, not an arcade. So if you want some free room, go find hotel or something. Like I said, it's already night and the two keep bickering while the others who already getting used to it just sighed. Wow, they are like a pair of old couple who loves to bickering, nya, commented Kuroka from the sideline, before she turned to Tsubaki. Is this always happened? The vice president pushes her glasses and makes it glinting. It is. Such a good show, if I have to say. Kuroka blinked at that. Right. They always do that in morning, afternoon, or any time when they meet, explained Rhea, who saw the confusion in Kuroka's face. Kuroka only could say, oh. Before she looks at the two again. Now we back at Sona and Naruto, already recovered, who's still bickering. And do you have to bring the other student council member to here? Questioned Sona, who makes Saji and the other focused on this. Why not? Wasn't it better that I brought them here so they could observe how rating game works? Questioned back Naruto, as several people nodded at his logic. Ha, Sona sighed deeply. My reason to not tell or call them was because they were tired after encountered an ambush from a certain stray devil. Several girls are blushed while Kuroka just laughed. And Tomoe was hospitalized this morning. This time Ruruko nervously looked at another direction. Ah, I'm already fine now, Keiku, said Tomoe, who not even asked. Besides, I'll tell the details to them tomorrow, continued Sona. But still, at least you could tell your reason today than make them misunderstood something, said Naruto tiredly, as Genshiru and the others are think the same what their janitor said. They're your peerage too, aren't they? Continued Naruto softly. Every member of student council look at their president, they want to know what will or hey about that. However, Tsubaki and Kuroka catch something from what Naruto say. Your peerage too? What did he mean by that? What were they thought? Sona herself seems troubled, before she looked at another direction while pouting as red hue appeared on her cheek. I'm sorry, muttered the girl that makes the student council's members surprised at the different side of their president. Well, it's fine as long as you already understand that, said Naruto, satisfied at how the Citri heiress understand his point of view. And his win over the bicker, of course. Now before Naruto could continue, a voice interrupted him as several monitor that hovering in the air appeared. Dear spectator, we welcome the Gremory and Phoenix clans. It's begin, Issei and the others rating game. I, Graphia. In behalf from the Gremory clan will explain where the game will held on, well, whatever. Naruto ignored the explanation and turned to Middle before say, Mit-chan. Can you tell us the result of Issei's training? No need for the method, just to the point. Middle look at Naruto before nodded as she begins her report. After 10 days of practicing, Hayato have gotten stronger physically. He also learned 3 magical abilities. The blonde girl's face strained in anger when explained at magic part. And those are? The first one. I didn't really consider it an offensive technique. Considering it only could shred someone close. Explained Middle as she hold her anger when remember the perverted technique. Shred. Clothes? Said Tsubasa, confused about it. He could tore your clothes by touching your body first, before executed the move. I bet he created it just because want to see some tits. After hearing that, several women in that room were annoyed and make a mental note to stay away from Issei in the future. Continue, ordered Naruto. And the second one? This time Middle become more serious. It's a time energy field. Though the area is just not wide, it could become Hayato's advantage in close combat. Middle-san, can you explain what time energy field is? Interrupted Genshiru as he raised his hand. Nanari look at the man in boredom. It's an energy that manipulates the time and space in a field form. Manipulates space and time? Surprised Saji to know such a thing as exist. Well, for Issei case, just think as a field that make you look slow for Issei when you fighting in close combat with him. Do you understand now? Explained Naruto indifferently but still answered by a nod from the blonde secretary. And the third, Mit-chan? Continued Naruto. I don't know what actually it is, but it's something like a small compressed energy ball. Don't be mistaken at the size, because it would become deadly laser beam that could destroy a mountain when fired, said Middle as she remembers what its destructive power. Genshiro, who heard it, tightened his fist. Feels inferior after heard what one of the perverted trio could do. First the amount of pieces, and now. Is that all? The question is only answered by a nod from Middle. Is the gauntlet still not changed? Questioned Naruto again. The gauntlet? Nope. It's still the same, answered Middle after tried to remember her observation again, but still can't find the difference on Issei's gauntlet. Naruto sighed in displeasure. Finding Issei is still too weak. What do you mean about changed, Naruto-sensei? Asked Tsubasa about Naruto's question earlier. According to the rumor, Hyaodu-kun's sacred gear, the Red Dragon Emperor has many abilities. The more abilities that gained, the more it's shown by its form, explained Sona, who start listening about Ria's plan to win the game. Then trailed off Genshiro as he looked at his left arm, where his sacred gear that also based of dragon resided. A silence formed to digest the information. Each of student council members gives a thought about the new revelation of their ally. Now I remember. A mutter that loud enough to be heard came from Naruto. About this noon, why you two not using water-based magic? As someone who resurrected by Citri clan, don't you know it's more useful using the clan specializes than other elements? Finished Naruto as he looked at Momo and Rhea curiously. Well, we think using water magic won't be helpful that time. Or not? Momo-san. Nervously, the brunette gives a silent message at the white-haired girl to help her answering the question. Momo make a thinking pose. Won't be helpful. Is not the right words, I think. Actually, we don't know how to use water magic on an enemy. That's right. Followed Rhea with wry smile. Naruto raised a single eyebrow at them, before look at Sona. Should I? Asked Naruto, which receiving a nod as the answer. The question itself was should he to explain it to the two bishop, or not? The blonde janitor raised his palm and focusing his energy to control the air and condense it to give an impression he made a glob of water from out of nowhere. The other who saw it quite impressed at the display. Water is one of 6 main elements that running over the world. It has good conductibility to healing magic and medical application. Naruto paused as he manipulates its shape and states. When you have good control of it, water also can be shaped to any form or altered its states. The glob of water then changing to several forms. A simple huge mass of water as a trap, weapon that made of ice, hot steam that burn more than skin, and etc. With little trick, Naruto decided to messing around by leaking a killing intent. And if you mastered it, you can control any water, or should I say any fluids. The atmosphere suddenly changed, every single person in that room felt a cold feeling. As they saw the blonde who looking at his palm, they could sense an eerie aura leaked from him, half of his face was shadowed as mysterious grin also formed in there. Sweat, tears, poison, holy water, or even blood. Several people unconsciously gulped in air after heard it. With creepy voice, Naruto continues. Control the flow of your enemy's blood, turn them to be your puppet, make them to kill each other, or blow them up in burst of goriness. Drenching your body in rain of bloods, red fluid that enough. Bam! The blow that delivered by Soma make Naruto's head hit the table, sorry. Was what out from Naruto as his head still on the table. Sona let out a sigh. Why don't you focus on the battle for now and ask something that you don't understand from it later, said Sona as she motioned to one of monitor. There, look at Hyaodu-kun and Tojo-san. Looks like there would be a fight in there. Why don't you observe it? Especially you, Yura. Since Tojo is a rook like you. Hi, Keiku. Tsubasa give a nervous nod to the Citri heiress, still affected from what Naruto did before, focused at the mascot of her school who commented a high-level rook to a girl in blue Chinese dress. They saw how Koneko and her opponent tried to hit each other, but they either dodged or blocked the attacks. From the looks, the girl in Chinese dress was more skilled than Koneko. She kept launching kicks that barely dodged by the white-haired lolly until it was stopped when Koneko grabbed the Chinese girl's leg, then delivered a punch to her face. The older woman was pushed to the back and wipes the blood on her mouth. She seems want to say something, but only for interrupted by a shoulder charge from Koneko. Nya ha ha ha. A sudden laugh came from Kuroka that makes several people turn their head at her. Ah, sorry. I just remembered something funny. Dismissed the cat girl as she gives waving motion that makes the others look back at the game. Not for Naruto. He saw the longing face that directed at Koneko after all. He keeps his gaze for a second, before shrug it off and decided to find out about it later. What the hell is he doing? Commented Genshiro, whose sweat dropped when saw a twin was chasing Issei who hold chainsaws in their hands. The others also sweat dropped after saw it, before changed their opinion to slightly impressed when saw how the brunette dodged a surprise attack from a blue-haired girl with a con, then dodged the twins again in the midair. Secret technique. Surprised Genshiro as he saw Issei doing some Kamen Rider pose after touched the twins and the blue-haired girl. The others are focusing their attention at the brunette, while middle deadpanned at the gesture. Dress. Break was what they heard as watching Issei snapped his fingers. They were thinking something amazing will happen. Only to find it was the technique that shredding clothes like what Middle said before. Truth like what the fallen angel said, the technique was made the twin and the Chinese girl stark naked, showing their hairless nether region to the spectators. Stab ga. My eyes. My eyes, shouted Genshiro, who rolling on the ground in pain while covering his face. Genshiro senpai, you can't watch something indecent you know, said Ruruko with rather sweet tone as she made a peace sign. She's right, Jan-chan, agreed Momo with the twin-tailed girl. Not bad. This one came from Naruto with closed eyes and a hand that blocked the stabbing attempt from Sona. Humph. You are still 100. Naruto opened his eyes, only for seeing two-point finger that very close to his eyes. Stab ga. My eyes. My eyes. Naruto followed Genshiro to rolling on the ground in pain while closing his face with his hands. Middle and Sona exchanged nod as they satisfied at the janitor's suffering, while Kuroka and the others sweat dropped, at the oblivious why they did that. Yawn ha. I'm tired, said Naruto before he yawing again. Naruto, Middle, and Kuroka now are currently walking to the cabin after finished watching the rating game. Naruto look at the two girls behind him that keep quiet since the result of the game. They lost. Issei and the others were lost against the Phoenix guy. Though Naruto know, it's not what makes them like that. He looks at Kuroka. The Nekashu start and became quiet after saw Koneko was blasted by the Phoenix guy's queen. Looks like he was right about there is something between Kuroka and Koneko. After all, why would she leak a killing intent after saw someone that she didn't know got hurt? Even the amount was little. Killing intent is a killing intent. He turned to Middle. The fallen angel was quiet after saw Asia also got a hit from the same queen. He knows that the fallen angel quite attached to the nun in recent weeks, so he understands the feeling. Ha, Naruto sighed again at the silence. And for the game. The point is they know now that Kiba has a sacred gear that can create swords, Issei has unlocked the gift ability, the Phoenix clan can create a potion called Phoenix Tears, that could heal any wound instantaneously, Issei's boost ability has a limit, and Rias resigned thus made her lost the game. About the game. Well, how to say it, said Naruto loudly to that gain the girls' attention. It can't be helped they were defeated, they only have 10 days to prepare for fighting those kind of opponents. I'm sure, if they have more time, they could win easily. Finished Naruto, who hoping it could for cheers them up. He usually not fond doing things like comforting, but this time was an exception because the silence was too quiet for his taste. Naruto was annoyed his failed attempt, and decided to do it with another way. Oh come on. The game was as sucks as Middle, who tried masturbating secretly anyway. That makes Middle take spit out before start coughing at the vulgar implication. Wah, what kind of nonsense are you talking about, yelled Middle in embarrassment. Huh? I'm talking about how you moaning while calling someone's name in the middle of night, said Naruto with teasing smile. I'm not calling your name while masturba. The blush become more intense as she realized what she want to say. I'm not doing something indecent in the middle of night, shouted Middle as she hopes the blonde male didn't catch what she said before. But sadly, he is. Ma. I never said whose name it is, but Mit-chan, for you to desire this body of mine, said Naruto, who looked surprised, before fidgeting like a girl who wants to confess to her first love. Oni-chan is troubled grr. You. Middle gritting her teeth, before she summoned her light spears in her hands. Die, yelled the girl, who is smoke of embarrassment out from her head. The sight where Naruto keep fidgeting but still dodging the spears makes Kuroka chuckled, before giggling that then turned become laughs. A smile appeared in Naruto's face, satisfied to make the atmosphere around him changed. He looked at the two girls behind him, before his eyes widened in shock as a flash of memory surfaced in his head. He saw himself running from a blonde-haired girl where a laughing black-haired girl and a smirking black-haired man that wears an eye patch standing not far from them. "Why she is gonna kill me," he shouted in mocking tone to the blonde girl. "Wait in there," yelled the blonde girl as she still chased him in anger. "Ah ha 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 ha. Look at that, it's so stupid. Right, Adu-sama?" Laughed the black-haired girl who pointing her finger at him while facing at her right. "I'm not surprised about that. The dope is always like that since long time ago," said the black-haired man. "Oh, shut up you team. Just help me from this bed wetter already," he shouted knowing adding the fuel to the blonde-haired girl. "You. Baka Naruto. Naruto." A shout snapped Naruto from the shock, make his vision blurred for a moment, before found Middle in front of him with worry on her face. Naruto blinked once. Twice, before he scratched the back of his head. "Aha, aha ha ha ha. Sorry?" He said it with sheepish grin. Middle frowned at that, before sighed knowing the man won't tell about what happened to him anyway. "Whatever. Let's go, I'm really tired right now," said Middle before she leaving him. "What's wrong nya?" asked Kuroka who come closer to Naruto. She was confused. The blonde male that seems happy teasing Middle suddenly stopped moving, almost makes the fallen angel stab his heart. He didn't move or say anything, just looking at them with blank gaze as if saw something that they cannot see. "Ah. Nothing to worry about," dismissed the blonde while gives waving motion. "Well, let's go back to the cabin." "It seems I'm tired too," continued Naruto as he start moving. Kuroka looked at his back and frowned, before she shook her head at something that not her problem. The three walking in silence, makes Naruto let out a sigh knowing it was his fault to make the awkward atmosphere. Several minutes later, Naruto stopped as he could sense something familiar. This holy presence. Middle, who heard him, also stopped, then tilting her head in confusion. "What's wrong? What do you mean by holy presence?" A frown appeared in Kuroka's face as she also felt the presence. "Angel. An enemy nya?" questioned the cat girl to Naruto who seems familiar with the angel. Naruto shook his head and say, "Nah, seems someone that I know coming for a visit," answered the blonde janitor before sighing in displeasure as he continues to walk. "Angel? Who?" Middle, who chasing Naruto, asked it with curious face. The enigmatic blonde waiting the two to arrive at his side. "Ah, that." Twisting the knob, he opened the door and showing the figure behind the door. "It's just him. There's a smiling handsome looking man standing in the living, he has long blonde hair and has green eyes in sad manner. He also wore a golden armor, meanwhile on his back is 12 golden wing that spread out showing its glory. Long time no see. Ogi-sama, said the man with kind voice. Me Michael-sama? Said surprised Middle to the newly named Michael. Kuroka herself tensed as the appearance of an archangel in front of her. Ugh. And this one come from Naruto while his face becomes slightly blue. Even thought I know that he is not doing it on purpose, still, muttered Naruto before he takes a deep breath for calming himself. What's wrong with you nya? Questioned Kuroka, who looking the disturbed blonde devil. Meanwhile Middle just ignores it. Nothing, dismissed Naruto before he facing at Michael. Yo, Mickey. How are you? Said Naruto nonchalantly as he, Middle, and Kuroka entered the cabin. I'm very well, thank you for your concern. How about yourself, Ogi-sama? Said Michael as he give a light bow. As the usual, said Naruto as he waving his hand to dismiss the gesture. Archangel Michael-sama. The leader of the angels and seraph. Why such a person in here? Muttered Middle with wary looks. Also, the way he talks to Naruto with respect manner. She turned her head to the janitor. Not only Azazel-sama, but Michael-sama too. Thought Middle, who being more curious about the male. Moreover, calling him Ogi-sama. Just how old he is? You are. I see, so you've become a fallen one, said Michael, who looking at Middle with his sad gaze. Ah, and you? The wanted stray devil in underworld. Never thought to find you in here, continued the seraph, who looks at Kuroka. Nya-ha-ha, laughed the cat girl as she looked back at Michael. I also never thought to meet the leader of angels in here, nya, continued the black cat before she gave him a cunning smile. I hope your visit is not to catch me, nya? Wait, a wanted stray devil? Asked Middle, who surprised about Kuroka's identity. Well, you can ask that later. I'm more curious how you knew about Middle here, Mickey, said Naruto, who already sit on the couch. I do, Ogi-sama. Gabriel told me about her. Nodded Michael before he turned to Middle. The angel who always curious about humans and their behavior. Though, Gabriel would be saddened when heard the angel she knows well has become a fallen one, said the seraph honestly, still with his sad-mannered eyes. I'm sorry, muttered Middle, loud enough to be heard. What can she say, as a former angel, The blonde girl felt she had betraying them. And so, what brought you here? Questioned Naruto to Michael. Ah, about that. I think you already know it. The angel opened his palm as golden magic circle appeared before an object floating on top of it. I came for returning this to you, Ogi-sama. And I really hope that this time you will take it, along with the responsibilities. Middle and Kuroka look at the object. A spherical white energy with 3 golden circles that rotating to vertical, horizontal, and diagonally. They also could sense holy energy from it, lots of holy energy. Are you serious? Michael Naruto frowned after saw the object. Yes, Ogi-sama. The blonde-haired devil grabs the object with crimson demonic energy wrapped on his right hand. As shadow covering half of his face, he says, I don't know why you came at this time, Michael. But you know that I'm a devil now, right? Michael gives a nod. Yes, I'm one of the few who witnessed it after all. And you also aware. What will happen to the angels if they know about this, right? Continued Naruto. Yes. The blonde-haired devil face palmed with his other hand. Michael, I know you always pestering me about these things. And I always said no as the answer, didn't I? Hi. Ha. I don't know what happened to you on this past year, said Naruto tiredly, before he looked at Michael with serious face. But how come the thought for doing something so stupid like this crossed in your head? Shouted the man with rage that make middle ad Kuroka flinched. It was the first time they saw the blonde angered. We all need you to back to heaven. God is already gone. And I am just barely keeping the system running. If it's not you, who and you decided me, a devil, to become the highest being in? But Ogi-sama. We really allowed gasp from middle interrupts them as she looks something at Michael's wings. Kuroka also surprised when she saw something that never thought in her mind. Stop it, Michael. There's a taint in your wings, said Naruto with emotionless tone as he pointing his finger to Michael's right wings. Michael looked at his wings and surprised when found a single black feather appeared on the tip. He facing back Naruto before closing his eyes and take a deep breath. Instantly, the black feather turned back into a golden one. I'm sorry about that, Ogi-sama. Yeah, you should. It's not funny if they found that the leader of the angels become a fallen one, said Naruto sternly. That makes Michael looking at the ground. The atmosphere becomes so tense. Middle, who can't hold it anymore, deciding to break it. Why don't we take a sit first? The two men turned their head at her. Ah no. She can't be helped to be nervous when all the attention was focused on her. Chuckles out from Naruto's mouth, makes the attention focused back to him. The devil facing at the seraph as he gives back the white spherical object. Mickey, I think this is the last time I will say this. I'm not going to take the offer, said Naruto with finality. Michael gives a try once more. Is there anything that we can do to make you taking it back? Naruto shook his head in denial. No, nothing. Besides, you know about my contract and last promise to Sona. For one of many people who know me well, you know what that mean, right? Yes. That you won't break it no matter what. Muttered Michael, knowing a certain special trait about Naruto. Attaboy, said Naruto as he give Michael a pat. Well, it's already night and I'm really tired now, so. I understand. Then, good night, Ogi-sama, fallen one, and stray-san. Michael bowed before a golden light wrapped around his body. Middle and Kuroka just nodded at the archangel. If you want, you can come here tomorrow. Ah, give Gabby and the others my regards, said Naruto as he saw Michael answered with a nod, before finally disappeared in a flash of golden light. Ha! Now, time to sleep, continued the blonde as he walked to his room. Kuroka wanted to ask many things about this situation, but she decided to be quiet, seeing there is someone who also wants to ask it. Naruto. It was Middled. What is it? Asked Naruto before yawning. That object from before, the white spherical thing. What is it? Oh, that. Naruto paused the answer and continued walking to his room. He opened the door and closing it, but before looking back at Middle with cunning smile and says, it's just the biblical God's core, eh? Not only Middle, but Kuroka also became speechless after heard that. The cat girl already knows that the biblical God is gone, but she never heard about the core or anything like that. Middle look at Kuroka. Did he just say, yeah, said the black cat, answering the unfinished question. The two decided to go to their own room with one most question that in their mind. Just who the hell is this guy? Because what they know, it's not like everyday thing that you saw someone offer to God's core. Like in any normal situation, Naruto bombarded many questions and attempts to know about that core thing by Middle and Kuroka at the morning. And as usual, Naruto just dodged it with 1,000 lies to them. Well, of course is not exactly 1,000, but you know what I mean. Knowing the man doesn't want to answer it, Middle and Kuroka decided to stop it. Anyway. Few days later, Naruto been asked by Sona to accompany her on Ria's engagement party, which the blonde accepted later. Well, he actually has something to do in there, so asked or not, he will come eventually. And now, in a luxurious hallway where a man with brown hair and surrounded by aura that's screaming noble walking to some direction. Nothing special about this man, he is just a devil that attending the demon lord Surzek's Lucifer little sister's engagement party. He was quiet late because some stupid low-class devil that can't do their job properly. Well, whatever, he could punish them later. For now thud before the man finished his thought, someone bumped into him. Ah, I'm sorry. I didn't see you there. The man turned and ready to lash out the fool, but he could only speechless when saw the one who bumped him. A beautiful young woman, who is sunny blonde hair tied in twin ponytail as dressed in light orange dress. Blue sapphire eyes, an angelic smile adore her magnificent face. There's also 3 whiskers like mark on her face and make her looks cute than feral. But for the man, it's just a plus point because that D-cup breast is the only thing he could to stare. Are you okay? The girl's melodic voice brings him back. He coughed twice and gives the beautiful young woman a cool pose. Don't worry, miss. Such a small things like that not a bother for a noble like me. Moreover, what about you, are you okay? Said the man with regal tone. The woman looks surprised as she closes her mouth with her delicate right hand while the other is behind her dress. Such a kind man you are. But yes, I am fine. Thank you for your concern, said the blonde that makes the man lift his chest in pride. I'm so sorry to say this, but I still have to meet someone, continued the woman with apologetic face. The brunette frowned a moment before back to smiling. To think a noble like him would be brushed off like that is not an exception for him. Who is the person you want meet, miss? Maybe I could help you. A wonderful smile showed to him. Oh, how lovely this girl is. He would make sure for not let this woman go. That would be Sona Sitri-sama, and I have to meet her quickly. The mistress is the one who invited me after all. Now that makes the man think once more. Who would have though the woman in front him is a guest for the Citri's clan heiress. And if she knows he makes this woman late. Yes. If I'm not wrong, she was gone there before, said the man nervously pointing at random place. I'm also sorry to say this, but I have to go. Then, if you excuse me. Quick but steady, he went out from there hoping the woman not remember his face. The blonde woman just looks at the scared man. Hey, that was easy before she look at the wallet in her left hand. Now let's see how much he has, said the woman who start counting the money in the wallet. Smack only for interrupted by someone who hit her head. What are you doing, Naruto? The woman who caressing her head now that actually Naruto was turning his head and found irritated Sona. Gone the Kuo Academy uniform that she usually wore, replaced by dark blue dress that increasing her charm as a young woman. Nothing. Smack. The bold lie was answered by another hit to his head. Itai. Sona-tan, it's hurts. Whined cutely Naruto in his female form. Don't lie to me. Now why are you doing something like that in this place? Pickpocketing, moreover you mentioned my name. Still irritated, Sona look at the. And why you disguised as a woman? This time she gave him a deadly cold gaze. Well. It's fun? Smack. Owie, Sona sighed at the blonde in front of her. She already opened her mouth to say something, before she saw Naruto's chest. Boing boing, her eyebrow twitched. Smack. Ouch. Hey, what was that for? Sona ignores the disguised man and start walking to another direction. Damn, why he has to make it bigger than her. Whatever. Now let's go, Surzek-sama said he wanna meet you, said the young woman who dressed in dark blue dress. Naruto blinked, twice, at her dismissal before following the short black-haired woman. So, why Surzek-sama wanna meet you? Asked Sona trying to ignore the meat that bouncing beside her. Well, maybe he wants to gives me my payment, said Naruto who purposely make the meat in his chest bouncing. What? It's fun to see the usual calm princess become irritated, even though it makes his shoulder stiff. Payment? For what? Asked Sona still ignoring those bouncing meats. Well, forgive him a plan to break Ria's engagement of course said Naruto nonchalantly leaving Sona who suddenly stopped walking. What? Sona was surprised for a moment, before she chasing the blonde. What do you mean? What plan? How come I didn't know about this? Well. Naruto thinking how to say it. One day, Sissy came to my place. He asked me how to crush the engagement between his Rias Tan and the Phoenix guy. So far Sona following the explanation and doesn't ask why he emphasizing on the, his, part, already know Rias' older brother is a siskin. Like her older sister. So as a good person, I gave him an advice how to do it. With a price of course, continued Naruto, a sly smile plastered in his face. Wow, that was generous of you. No need to say, that was a sarcasm. Then, what is this plan? Naruto brought his hand for counting. First, have someone who has authority higher than Rias to monitor her. Knowing that Phoenix guy's personality, someone like Rias who adored the romantic love story from Human's World eventually would do anything to break the engagement. The purposes for the second phase could be carried out. Sighing, Sona expressing her consolation. Now I feel sorry for Rias. For her love lived to be monitored by Surzex-sama. You're no better than her, though, pointed out Naruto. Wait, what do you mean by that? Anyway. Second, when the time has come, let the Phoenix guy meet Rias. A fight will break, either caused by a member of her peerage or by her own self. If it doesn't happen, I'll make it happen. Sona gives Naruto a flat stare. You really love creating trouble, don't you? Putting her hand on her bosom, Naruto in his female form gives a beaming smile to Sona. Thank you, to hear you know what I love makes me happy. Can you not interrupt me now? Even the readers know this interruption just to prevent to make the explanation as a wall of text. Whatever. Ha. Now the third, send Grafia to that place and make the two bet their engagement and rating game, which it's clear that Rias will lose because of her disadvantage. And next one is the last, be patient. Fine. After letting out a sigh, the gender-bended blonde continues. And finally, Sissy will came and declare that he is not satisfied with the rating game, then asked a random person from the party to fight the Phoenix guy. With the reward of course. Finished Naruto with took a deep breath and release it. Is that all? Asked the Citri heiress. Yeah. Now why don't you think over it? While he walking in leisure pace as the Citri heiress beside him digest the information, Naruto waiting what kind of conclusion the Sona will get. Then few minutes later, she spoke, I see. After Surzex-sama declare it, you will volunteering yourself with a reason like you can see how forced Rias is, so as a woman that didn't like forced things, you will challenge Riser with cancelling the engagement as the bet if you win, and giving yourself to him if you lose. Am I right so far? Asked Sona that makes a grin appeared in Naruto's face. Continue, said Naruto who impressed by the Citri heiress analytic skill. Seeing how? Sona give hateful glare at Naruto's disguised body. Healthy your body is, of course that pervert will accept it. Then you fight, won it, receive some thank you and congrats from people before you disappeared from crowds as a mysterious woman, continued Sona as she heard Naruto chuck, giggling now. That's right. But that's what we planned at first. Eh? Are you saying there would be something that changed? Asked Sona. Yep. The key word is. The unknown factor. Sona give a thought once more. Unknown factor, something that unpredicted happening in a plan. Something that will make your plan become smoother, or crushed. What is it? That unknown factor is? Something that never thought by Surzex and Naruto, something that appears without planned, something that happened recently. The Red Dragon Emperor. Muttered Sona as she found it. You mean Hayato-kun will change your plan, and how he gonna do that? A cunning smile from Naruto is the answer he gives. Sona's eyebrows twitched. You will make sure it happened? It's more like a statement than a question. Well, only the last part of the plan though is the simple answer that Naruto gave. Sona blinked, twice. He will fight Riser? How a simple student like Issei could win against an immortal anyway? Naruto who see the unasked question answered it. Because he is an idiot. Huh? The Citri heiress suddenly stopped her track. She was confused about it. What is the relation between idiotism with strength? The blonde who disguised as a woman just keep walking. And only an idiot would challenge someone that's stronger than them. Senior, teacher, boss, parents, worlds, gods. As long as they can save their precious one, they will face everything and keep challenge them even if they lost again and again. Sona's eyes widened slowly. Sometimes, she was forgetting how wise Naruto could be. Even though the wisdom that he gives considered as ridiculous, odd, or even impossible to believe it. And as one of few that know who truly he is and his role in the past, Sona know well to not dismiss those things easily. She shook her head, before continue to walk until right next to him, and says, really? I thought only an idiot who painted the White House in orange. That remark makes the gender-bended blonde almost tripped. Hey, in my defense, orange is awesome. Besides, I already cleaned it up didn't I? Reasoned Naruto as he remember one of his masterpiece. Still, it doesn't make many US military departments in uproar. They thought it was a threat from terrorists. How you did it anyway? And don't give me that ninja things bullshit language, princess. And for your information, ninja things is not a bullshit, they are therefore, the two doing their usual bicker like an old couple, ignoring several sweat-dropped people who watching the display. In a large room with 4 thrones that placed circling on every corner of the room, there sit one person in of the throne and another one who's standing beside him. The one who's sitting on the throne has an appearance of a man in his early 20s with shoulder-length crimson-red hair and blue-green eyes. He is Surzex Lucifer, the leader of the 4 great Satans who rule the underworld with the title of Lucifer. Next to him is a beautiful woman appearing to be in her early 20s, with silver hair and matching eyes. She is Graphia Lucifuge, Surzex Lucifer's wife. In this situation, many people will curious about the current leader of 4 great Satans' background. But this time, let's leave the matter and focus on the silver-haired woman instead. In Underworld, the name of Graphia Lucifuge is quite famous among devils. The beautiful woman appearing to be in her early 20s with silver hair and matching eyes known as the strongest queen and the silver-haired queen of annihilation because of her prowess. But for Graphia Lucifuge herself, she preferred to be known as the wife and queen of Surzex Lucifer, Rias' older sister-in-law, or the mother of Milika's Gremory. Despite being the wife of a great Satan, Graphia is neither act like a snobbish noble who look down low-class devils nor dress like one. She prefers to wear a blue and white French-made outfit with long sleeves and a white maid headband over her head. Overall, it's a uniform for a maid. No, it's not like she does not have a fetish to cosplay as a maid. In fact, she is a maid. Comes from the house of Lucifuge, a family of pure-blooded devils from the extra demons whose family served under the original Lucifer. Graphia was used to work as a maid and continues it even after married to the current Lucifer. Not forced, not because of an order, not also because of it was a tradition for someone who born in the house of Lucifuge. She just loves her job, that's all. Today, she with her husband has a meeting with someone. A certain special person who had great role in the past, someone named Namikaze Naruto. She still remembers her unforgettable first meeting and a certain event about him. Flashback: she was at the backyard that time, cleaning the table and plates that Rias used after have a lunch with the other heirs. That day, there was a meeting between the 4 great Satans at the Gremory Palace. The meeting looked so different with the usual fake meeting that they used to escaping from their paperworks. The atmosphere was tense, and the meeting itself was just for all the great Satans only. She didn't know what was the subject they would discuss, but she had a guess that it was related with the unusual phenomenon that happened several days before. Anyway, the relatives of the great Satans also came that day and decided to play in the backyard until the meeting is over. She who got a task to watch over them was doing the job patiently. Thus lunchtime came then ended in several minutes. That was how she cleaning the table and plates on the backyard. Silently walking in the hall after carrying the used plates, she was in the way to go back watching Rias and the others that time. PSSSHH. Before reaching the place, she heard something, a sound like a spray being used. Curiously, she followed the source of that sound, and how surprised she was to find something that never crossed in her mind. A boy with blonde hair that looked no older than Rias. It's not the appearance, nor the butler suit that he wore, but it was what he did that time. Now that's what I call a masterpiece. Nope. The graffiti that he made was no other than a stupid scribble. It says, Mr. N was here. After wiped a sweat that she know it never there, the boy tried to make another graffiti. Just who the hell he thinks he is? Ahem. With audible cough, she tried to gain his attention. PSSSHH. But the boy ignored her while continued spraying. Ahem. She tried again. PSSSHH. Then ignored again. Ahem. Finally, she got his attention. Her gray eyes met with his blue ones. She was thinking that the boy would frighten knowing he was found out. PSSSHH. Hey! Why did you continued spraying after saw me? That damned brat, how dare he? Ha! What? Don't what me? Who are you? Ha! And who are you? Don't you know it's rude to ask someone's name without introducing themselves? If she was any other maid, that brat should be dead that time. My name is Graphia Lucifuge, one of the maids who work in this palace. So? What do you mean by so? What is this that you've done? Pointing at the graffiti, she ignoring that the boy still not give his name. Art. What are you saying? There is no art from this graffiti. Why did you do this? Because I'm bored. Bo, ha. Before she exploded, she took several deep breaths to calm her down, forgot that in front of her was just a brat. You, whose child are you? Someone else's child. I know that. I don't have a kid like you, so whose child forget it, come with me. Huh? Why should I go with you, white-haired baba? It's silver and I'm not a baba. Using a horizon that she hid in her clothes, she hit the brat with it. Ouch. The hell you're doing, stupid woman with maid cosplay fetish? Who the hell are you calling stupid woman with maid cosplay fetish? She hit him again. Hard. Ow, ow, ow. That hurts. You know what, I'll give you a chance. Remove that graffiti at once and I'll forget this matter. No way. There is nothing wrong with it. Wah. Now listen, how would you feel if someone sprayed graffiti on the wall of your house? I'll angry. That's right. So what, how would I feel if it was for this place that I love? It'll make you laugh. As if it will, remove it. I'm not removing it. Remove it already. Make it disappear. Humph, even if someone else wash off this graffiti, the graffiti in my heart won't disappear. Enough, just wash it off quickly. Why should I? I told you I'm not removing it. I said remove it. What's wrong not removing it, you made with padded boobs? It's not padded, you stupid brat. Gua. She hit him again. Very hard. The boy caressing his head, before give her a glare that looked cute then intimidating. Uck. I'll remember this. Then after gave a cliché villain's line, the boy run away from there. She tried to chase him, only for surprised when saw he already gone after turned passing the gate. The days after that was hell for her. Her hair has different color every morning, her maid uniform always gone and changed to many different cosplay clothes, and she always heard perverted giggles every time she took a bath. Deep down in her mind she know it was the brat, but she can't find him no matter how hard she tried to search him. Then several weeks later, she met him again in an unexpected event. It was surprising at first, when heard that she and the other member in his husband's peerage would participating in raiding game, never thought someone dare to challenge the who known as the strongest peerage. When arrived at the arena, she saw many great beings as the spectator in there. Norse gods, Greek gods, high-class angels and fallen angels, the rest great satans, and several beings from the 8 million gods of Shinto religion. She noticed there was no minor or nobles in there, only the higher-ups of each religion. Overall, it was quite unusual spectators. When she saw who the opponent was, surprised or stupefied was not enough to express her emotion that time. Stood proudly on the opposing side was the heiress of Sitri clan. Sona Sitri. The same Sona Sitri who loved to ask her many things, the same Sona Sitri who was the little sister of great Satan Leviathan, the same Sona Sitri who always playing with Rias Gremory. She asked her husband if it was a joke, but no, her husband even gave an order to not holding back and fight them seriously. After sensing how powerful they are, she can't disobey it and decided to focus at the one who has strongest presence, before surprised when found it was him, the boy who made the graffiti. That boy. How? You know him, Graphia? Her master as well husband asked her. She answers it by explaining how she encountered the boy. I see. Surzex-sama, from your expression, do you know him too? Yes. In fact, I want you leave him to me. Eh? He is the reason why there are so many special spectators in here. Also. No, nothing. You better not know the truth. With grim face, he muttered the last one loudly enough for her. Several seconds later, a large magical circle engulfed them, signifying the game have started. The moment she opened her eyes, a fist was already in front of her. She quickly dodges it and the fast punches that came later, before using her magic to make a gap between them. Glimpsed around, she was in an unknown place. Only she herself and her opponent, a girl who has ginger-colored hair in twin ponytail style, wore black and red school uniform and has beautiful dark orange eyes. So, I got the so-called strongest queen, ha, a grin formed on the girl's face, before disappeared along with her body. Can't be better. Following her instinct, she ducked to dodge a punch behind her then tried to deliver spinning back kick to the girl's legs, only for missed as she saw an axe kick from the girl ready to be executed. Kicking the ground, she hardly dodged it and relieved for did it instead block the kick that made a huge crater on the ground. After chanting high-class spells at once, she throws barrage of ice-based magic to the girl one after another one. She saw how agile the girl was, dodging her spell with ease while running to her direction. Knowing the girl will come closer soon, she unfolded her wings and flew from there while keep sending a barrage of spells. She will win. Was what she thought. 2 of Surzek's knights have retired, wah. It was a mistake for her to be distracted that time, surprised that the best swordsman in her husband's peerage was taken down. Don't you have something to do right now? Gah. A blow to her stomach reminded her that she still has opponent to fight that time. Quickly, she maneuverings herself to keep floating in the air, before using healing magic after coughing blood several times. She looked at the girl, the one who makes something on top of her palm. Ignoring the smirk on the girl's face, what she saw was several blue and red things that mixed to form a black energy ball. When the ball was the size that used on baseball, the girl threw it with the speed that faster than a bullet. She was glad to dodge it, because the moment it made contact with the ground, what she saw was 2 mountains annihilated in huge explosion. Well, Those spells you threw earlier is quite annoying, facing back at the girl. No, a girl was incorrect way to call for she who has different appearance. Floating in midair was a woman with long straight orange-colored hair with black streak on some strand. Fox ears that twitching on top of the woman's head, red exotic blood-colored eyes with black slit as the pupils, voluptuous body that made the woman's school uniform looks tightened, and swaying behind the woman's back was 9 orange-colored tails with black on the tip. Overall, the cute flat-chested girl from before was transformed to sexy adult woman. She focused at those tails and fox ears that time, something that made her remembered a certain yokai who is same appearance. A legendary yokai form Shinto religion, Kyubi no Kitsune. How the heck the Citri heiress could get this legendary being? Was her thought that time. So, how about a payback? The woman words bring back her attention, and made her tensed when saw so many black energy balls already formed around the woman. Then with one flick, a barrage of the black energy balls sent to her direction. It was frickin' hard to dodge it while sending back several high-class spell to the woman. Using all her power, she tried to fight the woman back. No longer than 10 minutes. She lost. It took her several minutes to wake up, then another to accepting the result of her fight. I lost, ha! It was quite a blow to her pride, for she who dubbed as the strongest queen lost against the unknown girl. Yo! Turning to the left, she saw the woman. No, the girl from before grinning at her. You are. The name is Kuugami Kurama, what's yours? Graphia. Graphia Lucifuge. Graphia, ha! I'll remember it. Nice fight by the way, I'm enjoying it. I see. Looking around, she found that she was in an infirmary that time, and looking the one who beat her also in there. So it's over, ha! The rating game. Nah. Your master and the brat still fighting in there. The brat? Come, let's watch those two. Turning around, the newly named Kuugami motioned to follow her out from the infirmary, and then when they arrive, she was stupefied at what she saw that time. Her master, Surzex Lucifer, the leader of the 4 great Satans, one of top 10 strongest beings in the world, was wheezing tiredly on 4 with body that battered and bruised. In front of her master was him, the same boy that she met another day who uninjured and still fresh while looking down at the Lucifer. Well, looks like we're not that late. The girl's words not only gained her attention, but also the others who watching in there. Parting with her, the girl left to join her teammates. She herself also went to her own group. Are you alright? The one who asked it was Okita Tsuji, the best swordsman in the peerage, also the first one who lost in the game. The man who usually laid back and calm in every situation now looked grim. She knew that the man felt guilty to bring down the name Surzex peerage, even so, she didn't hesitate to frowning at him. You, how could you? I know. I underestimated one of them. It was because my ego that I lost, even though Surzex-sama already told us to fight them seriously. I'll listen your scolding or whatever later, but for now. Leaving the conversation, Tsuji turned and focused at the monitor who's showing the fight between her master and the boy. Sighed, she also decided to do the same. She watches the fight that clearly out from her league. For someone who can't see it, the screen will only showing an empty battlefield who destroying the place itself. But for her, what she saw was 2 blur who fighting in close combat, one in pure red and the other one was yellow and black. Sometimes, several explosions can be seen. Fire, water, wind, earth, lightning, and many lethal magic also executed in there. Several minutes later, she saw her master and the boy stopped fighting. Her master who in her true form was wheezing, in contrast with the boy who's still calm. I think it's time to finish this, ha. Ha. Yeah, then out of nowhere, a blast of orange energy surrounded the boy. Its size was huge at first, before slowly shrank, forming a cloak that made of light orange energy. It must be something powerful, to made her master difficult to stand. The screen suddenly turned static, no one knows what happened in there. Some tensed, some panicked, and some still calm about the situation. Then the moment it fixed, she and the others surprised at the situation. The barren land where her master were was changed to destroyed land, cracked grounds that spews out lava, thunder storming from the sky, and violent windstorm that blowing everything. Floating in the mid-air was her master, surrounded by huge spiraling energy ball as chains already bind his arms and legs. In front of him was the boy, looking at her master in boredom as if it's not worth his time. Your call, I resign, the supposed the strongest team in Underworld. Was lost a bunch of teens and kids that time. Flashback and sigh. What's wrong, Graphia? Asked Surzex as he raised his eyebrows at his wife. No. It's nothing, Surzex-sama. Dismissed Graphia calmly. As for what happened after that, a colossal party was held that time. She never thought the boy, that Namikaze Naruto was quite famous to the higher-ups of the world, and respected by every single god. Respected, not feared. It's quite amusing when the boy himself was mocked by the gods, which leading to a huge brawl that dragging all men into it. The event itself decided to be keeping in secret from outsiders. As the reason was untold, it's just decided like that. She has few guess about it, but decided to keep it for herself. A sound of a door opened interrupted her thoughts, and the responsible for it was the one that she and her husband waiting. She saw he is in his female form, but didn't bothered by it, already got used by the appearance. Though she's slightly curious about why the Citri heiress came with him. Yo, Baba. Using quick steps, she already delivered her horizon to the blonde's head. This is it. For Hayao Issei, an arm is nothing as long as he could bring someone that precious to him back. But the power that he gets only lasts for 10 seconds, no, even it's just 10 seconds he will. He have to bring his buku back. Ow ow ow, why that Baba have to hit me that hard? A female voice suddenly reached his ears. Raising his head, what he saw in front of him was a blonde-haired girl who caressing her head in pain. By the way, she has nice a pair of opai. The girl facing at him for a second, before looking around then checking his room. Hey! Surprisingly, your room is simple. I thought there will be a woman tied in here as your sex slave, said the girl with disappointed sigh. Ignoring what the girl said, he already stood from the bed and get into his battle stance. Who are you? Asked the brunette with hostility as he saw the blonde looking at the sexy woman poster in his room. This is not bad. Without turning, the girl ignored him. Oi! Calm down. I'm just. The woman finally turning then walked to his direction, before suddenly stopped for a moment then looking at his left arm with mocking grin. Well, who would have though you would sacrifice your left arm? How? How she know about it? Did she spy on him? How did you know about it? Just tell me who are you? Said Issei who prepared to fight the unknown girl. The woman sighed before she says, Ma, I'm not that surprised for you don't recognize me, Issei. Huh? The girl talks as if she knows him. He tried to search in his memory, but still can't find anything about her. Ha! Here, remember this? The woman sighed again before she pointed her cheek. Is that Whiskers? Is she some kind of devil too? And somehow, it looks familiar, like. Wait, don't tell him. Urogami? Asked Issei dumbfounded. Pin Pon. Issei was surprised to know the girl is actually someone that he knows well. But how come he is a she? Was he actually a she all this time? Or he just disguised as a she? Somehow, he doubted about the last one, because those opai look so real to him. It's real if you wondering about it, said Urogami who grope her own boobs. Really? Ah, no, I mean you are actually a girl all this time? Urogami just shrugged her shoulder before sit on the chair near a window. It's just a disguise. Magic and things like that. I see. Well, enough about that. For now, why don't we focus about how bring Rias back, huh? What do you mean? Don't you want to save that girl? You mean? A thought of Urogami helping him crossed in his head. Yeah, I'll help you, confirmed the blonde in disguise. Now he didn't expecting that, for someone that he knows as a cheapskate. So that what he means. Ha! How much? Sighed the brunette knowing the blonde in disguise would charge him. Well, as long as his buku is back, money is nothing for him. Maybe. Don't worry, it's free. It's a request from someone else after all, Urogami just waving it off. Or do you want me to charge you? Before she frowned, don't know why. Maybe because she saw his amazed face. No. It's just so surreal for Mia. I mean, thank you Urogami. He quickly changed what he wanted to say when saw the displeasure in Naruto's face. It's fine. For now. There is it, the same cunning smile on her face from before, and it was too damn sexy for a guy in a disguise. He definitely will ask him how to use that transformation magic later. To go to women's changing room freely was another achievement he has to gain. To fantasizing at time like this. You sure have a lot free time, Issei. You're drooling by the way, pointed Urogami with deadpan face. Ah, sorry. Well, whatever. Now, are you awake already, Thrag? Called Urogami that responded by a green glow in his hand. He was surprised at that, for the man in disguise knows the existence of the dragon who resides in his arm. Long time no see, old man. Or should I say, old woman? Said the dragon without intent to mocking. Old man is fine, said Urogami who seems didn't mind about it. Well, wait a minute. Thrag, you know Urogami? Asked Issei. He ignored why the dragon in his arm called Urogami an old man. He more surprised when heard the Thrige seems know about his school janitor. Humph, you don't have an idea who you just called, brat. Well, for your question, I can't tell more than we just know each other. Why? Nothing special, but why don't we focus on bring Rias back for now? Isn't that is your first priority on this situation? Interrupted Urogami swiftly. He actually wants to know about the rule, but the blonde in front of him was right. To bring back the president of the Occult Research Club is more important. Understood. What should we do? A grin appeared on Urogami's face. Say Issei, how far your knowledge about the boosted gears, gift, ability, exorcist tools, and explosion? Lots of explosion? Somehow, that grin also appeared on his face. Ha! A lone sigh out from Sona Citri as she watches a man went to another place. The heiress of Citri clan just greeted another noble that came to her. Nothing special, just courtesy between high-class devil. After meeting the great Satan and had a quarrel with the strongest queen, the blonde who supposedly stand beside her was volunteering himself to pick up the last player in his plan. Sona made a thinking pose and give a thought about it, still not sure that the brunette, that Hayao Issei could defeat Riser, before shook her head to dismiss it. The blonde will do something about it anyway. Just what make him took this long anyway? Whatever. Knowing him, he'd suddenly pop from out of nowhere later, said the short black-haired woman indifferently as she spotted a familiar group. Walking closer to them, she also heard what the Phoenix Heir's peerage about the rating game. It's a bit frustrating we can't debate her statement was the comment that Sona heard from her childhood friend's night. Sona make her appearance, before give them her thought. They must have forgotten they were being relayed. Sona Keiku, said slightly surprised blonde in business suit, Kiba Yuto who meet his school's student president in there. Sona ignored the call. The end result is undeniable, but the fight was surprisingly long and difficult. No, even anyone who saw that will understand if you lost, said Sona calmly. We thank you, but no need for the consolations, said the black-haired beauty that stands next to Yuto, Haimjima Akeno as she gives a curt bow. Probably, it hasn't ended yet. That's what we think, explained Kiba confidently. It hasn't ended yet, corrected the school mascot, Tojo Koneko with finality. Sona looks at their positiveness and says. No. It has ended, the battle is, said the student president mysterious smile that makes Akeno, Kiba, and Koneko want to frown. But, the fight hasn't, right? Continued Sona as she felt a familiar tingle on her body. Of course it hasn't. In a flash, the three from Occult Research Club saw a blonde-haired woman in orange dress appeared out of nowhere. She also has mischievous blue eyes, playful grin, and 3 whiskers like marks that oddly resembled someone they know. Ara, and who might you be? Asked Akeno with a hand in front of her mouth, surprised to see an unknown girl appeared out of nowhere. Seems familiar. Frowned Koneko who sensed something when the twin-tailed girl came. Something like chakra. Naruto waving his hands casually. Ma, you don't need to know. For now, I just want to tell you to be prepared when I give you a signal, said Naruto who give them a cheeky grin. The three from Occult Research Club look each other in confusion, before back-facing at the girl. And a signal for what it is? Questioned Kiba with charming smile. Naruto's face suddenly turned pale blue. Ugh. He closed his mouth while holding Sona as a support. Please don't do that. Well, that's kind of rude, said Kiba with weak smile. And for your question, you'll know it later, Sona sighed. You really love to make everyone around you confused, don't you? Hi, Daisuke answered Naruto with beaming smile. What's with that cute smile? Forget it, where is he? I don't see him with you, asked the student president as she looking around to search a certain brunette. I kind of left him at the entrance this palace, said Naruto with nervous smile. You? A helpless sigh out from Sona's mouth. Him? Asked Akeno who confused about the person they talking of. A grin appeared in Naruto's face as he looks at the black-haired beauty. Yeah, him. You know, a brunette with a dragon in his arm. Akeno, Kiba, and Koneko now have an idea what the blonde beauty means. If the brunette what the blonde girl said was the same one as a certain pervert that they know, looks like they really have to be prepared from the signal from her. With a flame and screech, a man with looks in his early 20s who has short blonde hair and blue eyes appeared in there. Ugh. One after another groaned Naruto as holding a puke after saw how the guy dressed. Is she alright? Concerned Akeno who saw the twin-tailed girl's face turn pale blue again. No. Nothing. She's just. Don't worry about her, said Sona as she holds her laugh, knowing how weak the blonde is against something that's screaming homo. Ma, if you say so, complied Akeno but still not convinced. Naruto slightly calmed down after taking a few deep breaths when the guy give a speech, before smirking as he sensed Issei who just few meters from the room. You guys, be prepared, said Naruto while the occult club member complied. They saw Issei suddenly barged in before says, I'm Hayao Issei of the Occult Research Club, and my buku, Rias Gremory-sama's virginity is mine. I know nothing of that, explained Naruto when saw a glare from Sona. And there they go, said Naruto who saw Issei and Rias riding a griffin. It's all according to the plan. Issei coming, everyone confused, Surzex comes to explain before make an entertainment match with a reward, the prize been set, Issei fight the Phoenix guy, won it, and now the brunette took the prize. An evil smirk that makes Naruto being mistaken as Yagami light from Death Note formed in the blonde's face. Just as planned smack before get a hit from Sona who annoyed at that face. Itai. Sona-tan, you seems hit me a lot today whined Naruto as she caressing her head. Then don't do that stupid face again, said Sona with her usual coolness. Naruto pouted. But it's cool. No, that's just plainly gross, said Sona as she waving her hands. Bro. Apologize. Apologize to all Yagami Lights fans. Why should I? Fufufu laughs from Akeno interrupted them. But still, what's with that explosion before? I never heard it from Asia-chan about such a technique, said Akeno who remembers something unusual from Issei's fight before. That's right, what was that about, wondered Koneko aloud, but the gaze that she gave to Naruto told her the blonde must have known something about it. I'm also curious about it said Kiba who has a charming smile, instantly makes Naruto holding her mouth and went to the corner. Sona shook her head as she remembering what happened in Issei's fight before. After Issei delivered a mix between cross, holy water and dragon-enhanced punch to Riser's gut, the fight hasn't finished. A scum like you who make a girl cry, you are worse than a trash, shouted Issei as he throws paper. Lots of papers before bolted out from there. Was what several people heard from their demon lord. It seems he recognized those papers. Sona who also recognized it just face-palmed, before she turned her head and deadpanned at the mad grin in Naruto's face. This is my new special technique, Dragon Bomber, shouted Issei who did some Kamen Rider pose, then along with that. Surprise, motherfucker, muttered Naruto loud enough to be heard by Sona, hands raised to execute the jutsu, and then. Boom. A huge pillar of black fire can be seen at where Issei was, along with huge tremor that shaken the audience who watched the fight. Ho! Holy shit. I never thought it would be that who I mean, ha! Take that you bastard. They heard how astonished Issei was before he followed with triumph smile. After the fire was gone, the screen that focused on Riser now showing a bald man with smoke that comes from his body. Did someone order a fresh baked chicken? Said Naruto that made several people chuckled at the pun. The Citri heiress sighed at the flashy way to finish the fight, before facing at the rest of Rias Peerage's member. Well, I think my business in here is over. Informed Sona as she walking to Naruto's direction and says. Come on, there is nothing we have to do in here anymore. Yeah agreed Naruto who still has pale blue face. Good night Hajime, Kiba, and you too Nico-chan with a flash of yellow. Sona and the blonde twin-tailed hair girl disappeared from there. It is me or that girl is kind of reminding me of Namikaze-kun? Asked Akeno to the two. I thought that too agreed Kiba with a nod. Me too and this is the simple answer from Koneko. The moment Sona opened her eyes, she already on her old room. Whoa, it's been so long since I came here, said Naruto who looking around. Better to release this poof with a puff of smoke. Naruto's body turned back to male with butler uniform as his attire. Sona who saw it feel nostalgic, before she shook her head to dismiss it. I'm already tired and want to rest now, could you inform the others that I'm back? Well before Naruto finished, he and Sona could hear footsteps that coming closer to them. The two waited as they watching the door that will open. Then from it. Naru-cha and Tilda. Emerged beautiful girl who jump into his arm. She has long black hair tied in twin ponytail, violet eyes, and childlike body with breasts that totally different from the standard of the body itself. Basically, a lolikyo nyu. The newcomer also wore dark green clothes and long black skirt as her attire. Releasing the hugs, the two was laughing like fools before Naruto raised his hand. Sora-tan, high five. 5A. Clap seeing the display, a sigh out from Sona's mouth as she massaging her temple. What are they, 5? Ha. Sarafal-ne-sama, what do you want? Asked Sona with her usual cold face. Sochin. Sona raised her hand, block a glomp from the newly named Sarafal, before she pushed the girl's forehead, and make her fall to the ground dramatically. With little trick, Naruto, who saw an opportunity to messing around, set a camera silently, then using illusion to change the background to medieval setting. The room being replaced with an empty street at sunset. Sona's dark blue dress changed to luxurious one as a fan held in her right hand made an impression of a villain high noble who loves to see someone suffering. Sarafal's attire also changed to dusty plain robe as dirt marred her beauty, made the girl look like a peasant in shock with her disbelieves face. Naruto, who also has different attire, helping Sarafal to stand up, then frowned at the student president. Is that how you treat your sister after not meet for 8 years? Naru-chan, it's fine, said Sarafal softly as she flashed a smile to make Naruto calm, before turned to Sona with hopeful looks. Sona-chan. It's me, your One-chan. Don't you remember me? The short black-haired young woman let out a scoff as she hid her face with the fan. Humph. Foolish peasant, what are talking about? For me, this Sona Sitri-sama to have a sister is— wait a minute. What kind of setting is this? Shouted Sona as she realized for being dragged to their pace. Sona-chan, that won't do. You have to follow the script. Whined Sarafal. Yeah. Followed Naruto. What are you talking about? What script? Moreover, turn back this place already. Hick, Sona-chan is mean. Even though One-chan missed you so much, said Sarafal, who back to her act while wiping her fake tears. Oi. Don't worry, Sara. Naruto put his hand on her shoulder, before he facing at the sunset behind him. One day, she will accept you. Listen to me. Naru-chan. Sarafal wipe her last, fake, tears, then facing at the sunset too. You're right. One day. She will be a bam. Ga. Au. A quick blow delivered to each Naruto and Sarafal's head make the two crouching on the ground while caressing their pained head. Ooh. Sona, you're mean. Even though I'm your sister. Whined Sarafal. Then act like one, shouted Sona with annoyed face. Naruto followed. Au. Sona, you're mean. Even though you still wear that cat-printed panties. Bam. That has nothing to do with this situation, shouted Sona with embarrassed face. Sarafal looking at Sona with sparkling eyes and delighted face as she says, Ooh. Is it the one that One-chan gave you yesterday? Before wiping another, fake, tears. To know you wear my present even though you said no yesterday. One-chan very happy right now. Yo, you've got it wrong. I just find it was a waste to throw it away just like that. Don't be mistaken, it's not like I'm happy to wear it because you're the one who buy it, okay? Humph, said Sona in denial as she crossed her hands while looking away. Grinning, Naruto give a thumb up. Ooh. That was nice line. As expected from the tsundere heiress of Sitri clan. Who were you called tsundere heiress? And why did you said the soon part 3 times? Because it's true. Was the simple answer from Naruto. Sona, who want to say something, decided to stop it. She took several deep breaths to make her calm, and then look at the two with tired expression. Cut it out already, I'm really tired right now. Then, how about One-chan sleep with you? Said Sarafal with sparkling face. Denied, rejected Sona flatly. Naruto raised his right hand. Then, should I? Eh? Sona, who heard it, was froze for a second, before her imagination kicked in. Laying on the bed is Sona, who only wore a white shirt. Using the blanket, she covers her body up to half of her blushing face while secretly glancing at the blonde who's standing near a window. Closing the window, the blonde turned then walked to her direction while rubbing his hands. Phew. So weird, why it is so cold tonight? Said the blonde before he tilting her head in confusion. What's wrong, Sona? Did you feel it too? Asked Naruto with raised eyebrows. She averts, then glancing back to him several times, before give her answer while nodded meekly. Sona heard the blonde walking closer to her, and it makes her heart beating faster with each of his footsteps. She felt a hand on her chin, a hand that turned her gaze to see Naruto's face. Showering by moonlight from behind, her shy violet meet attractive blue cunning gaze. There is also playful smile on his face, increasing the heat on her body. Then with soft yet enchanting voice, he says. Then. Should I warm you up? As he said that, the blonde pulls her face closer. Closer. And closer until her lips met him, before her body is pushed down as what a wedding couple usually do on their sacred night is performed later. Poof. Instantly, Sona's face was turning red with smoke out from her head. Wah. Wah 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 wah. Naruto and Sarafal exchanging looks at the situation, before grinning knowing the Sitri heiress just imagining something in her head. Ho, what's this? Is Sona-chan just a dirty thought in her mind, Tilda? Teased Naruto with smiling blank eyes as wicked grin plastered on his face. Oh, that piques my curiosity, said Sarafal with equal wickedness on her grin. Ni, can you tell us the details? Teased further Naruto as he leaning closer. Sarafal, who also leaning closer, joined the harassment. Oh. Sochin, you pervert, something snapped inside Sona. The short black-haired young woman facing the ground, her body trembling in anger with dark aura surrounding it, several white-bluish magic circles also formed around her. Raising her head, the Citri heiress showing her cute glare on that blushing face as tears was holded well on the of her eyes. Yosh. Started by Sarafal. We'll take that face to go, thanks. Gya ha 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 ha. Finished by Naruto as he and the woman beside him running away from that place. Sona, who saw the two already disappeared, only could slump with still red face, angry at the humiliation that the blonde and her sister gave. Mo, you too, I'll remember this, shouted Sona loudly. Meanwhile the butler and maids in the palace, who heard it, just chuckled, already got used knowing their master always teased by two peoples they know well. Tilda in a certain memories of the Citri heiress Tilda. Citri. A name of famous clan from one of 32 pillars in Underworld. A name that every devil in Underworld known has the best medical facilities. A former name that once bore by the current demon lord Leviathan. But for me, for the old me, that name was just like a thorn in my heart. It was because that name's fault. I had different childhood than other children. Looking back, I still remember a scene where my bodyguards beat up a kid around my age when I was taking a walk in a town. And the reason? It's because he asked me to be his friend. Ignoring my order to stop, they keep beating him while saying it's unbefitting, disgraceful, it's not right for a mere low class like him to befriend with me, who a high class devil. Really? What a foolish reason. 30 The heiress of Citri clan. It was the title that given to me since I was born. From the sounds, such a great position, isn't it? To be the heiress one of high-ranking devil clans. Such a noble title that makes you highly regarded, a noble title that could make you look up in proud. But not for me. Because it's the reason I didn't have a freedom. From behind a window, I only could watching the workers who chatting or playing happily, showing a face that's so different when I stood in front of them. Turning back from the display, I look what pilled on top the desk in front of me. Books. If someone seeing me that time, I'm sure they will say it's so ironic. Separated by a wall, there are peoples who chatting and joking with the other to fill their day, meanwhile on the other side of the wall, is a child who accompanied by a friend that even never exist in the first place, a child who's studying. Study, and study with reason to reach those people's expectations. I really hate my sister, the one who gave me that title. Why I have to born with that name? Why I have to born in Citri's family? Why I have to born as high-class devil? Why can't I have a real friend? Those questions were the one which leading me to the root of my problem. Discrimination between devils because of the differences in their ranks. On that day too I found my goal, my drive to erase those differences so there is no such a thing as a noble or a peasant. To make them equal. 30 After I found my goal, I start putting a mask of cold and calmness in front of other people's. Lying to my own feelings so the others could approve me as the proper lady of Citri heiress, the high-class devil who will lead them one day. I decided to take my status as an heiress more seriously, having a high position mean could take a big step to reach my goal after all. Still. Even tough I found my goal, even though I kill my emotion. The loneliness in my heart still not vanish. 30 Day by day I went through my lonely life with coldness, forcing and told myself that I don't need anyone to make my goal become true. Because it is my problem, my alone, and no one could interfere it. That is. Until he came to my life. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. Uzumaki is in my family name, and Naruto is in my first name. Nice to meet you, Sona Oju-sama. A man in butler uniform and has looks in his early 30s is standing in the middle of hall, interrupting my way to the library. He also has spiky blonde hair and blue eyes. A little weird for me who never saw someone with that appearance on the Citri's house. He also has unusual trait on him, 3 whiskers like scars in each his cheeks. State your business. Giving a nod to his greetings, I ask what he wants. Of course, not forgetting to put my cold attitude. I am hereby in order from Lord Citri to become your personal butler, Oju-sama. I was confused that time. What makes this man special so that my father appointed him to become my personal butler, before dismissed it and decided ask about it to my father later. I see. Follow me to the library. I have a study session in there. Hi, Oju-sama for now, he's just another employee. Was what I thought at that time. 30 As I said to him before, I had a study session at the library that time, to learn something from the best tutor that my parents hired. Hey! The best they said. The lesson was not that great, I could find a book that 10 times more resourceful than what he taught. Most of the time that he used is wasted for boasting how great the high-class devils are. After 2-hour session, the tutor was left but not for me. I'm staying in there with a reason to set an example to the supposed my new butler, about what the heiress of Sitri clan usually does. I let him observe me to get another approval as the heiress like what I did to the other peoples. Really, I hate that tittle. Dismissing the thought, I keep focusing on my study. That time, I thought he would keep standing while observing me like that the other did. But much to my surprise, I was wrong. The supposed to be my butler took a seat beside me before putting his legs on the table like some punk, then sighed loudly. Ha! What's with that man and his gibberish? A high-class devil is this and a high-class devil is that. There's a TV show that 5 times more educating and fun than those things. I frowned at him as I trying to tell I do not like his attitude. Put your leg down, butler. How could you show your master such a disgraceful attitude? With a serious tone that I usually use, I was sure the new butler would smile sheepishly while apologizing after reprimanded. But he wasn't. Hey. It's fine, isn't it, Sona-chan? I'm tired of standing for 2 hours, you know? The butler whined as if we're an old friend. What did you just call me? I actually heard him clearly at that time. Sona-chan, he said. Such a disrespect way to call his master. I called you Sona-chan. Why, sounds cute, isn't it? It's indeed sounds cute, but my pride won't allow it that time. Call me properly as your master while prostrating, and I will forget about this. Ma, why should I do that, Sona-chan? Decided it mustn't be tolerated anymore, I rose up from my chair and look at him in the eyes, and make sure to put disapproval emotion in my face. Though even if my head still not reaches shoulder height, I'm sure I was looked intimidating at that time. Don't make me remind you, with whom you are talking to, butler. Instead, bowing in fear, he did something that never crossed in my thought. There, don't be angry, he pats my head, how dare he? But it does. Kind of feel good. But I have an image to be keep. You. I tried to slap him, only for hitting air when he dodged it. Whoa, Sona-chan. What's wrong? Shut up and don't call me that, I shouted embarrassedly while still tried to hit him with either my punch or kicks, before start to throw books at him when it's all failed. A gesture that become a habit in the future. But even after everything that I throw to him, the imbecile blonde dodged it all perfectly. It's frustrating. Yet at the same time, I felt weights in my body lifted. Several minutes doing that makes me slightly calm down, felt like free from my chains at that time. Before the anger back again when the fool mocked me. Sona-chan. You need to put your weight on your throws. It's kinda boring to see how slow those books flying at me. Again, I throw those books around me. It was so annoying to saw that bored face of him, especially when he yawning while keep dodges my throws. Shut up, you just a mere butler, do you know who the person you just insult? I shouted loudly in anger, hoping for someone finally coming there to put this butler out from my house. You are currently my master now, Sona Sitri, heiress of the Sitri clan and little sister of the demon lord Leviathan. You also a little girl who always locks herself in a library for studying to become a great leader of the Sitri, and currently doesn't have a friend. PFFT, somehow, that sounds pitiful of you, on the last part. I was so angry at that time. When he laughed at my pains and me. What did he know about me anyway? That's right. What did a mere low class like him know about me? What I have been through, about how frustrated I was. For not have a friend. How dare you? Someone like you. For someone like you. With focusing mana in my hand, I start to chanting a spell. I tried to show him, who was the person he just insulted. Oi, Sona-chan. Do you really want to use magic in here? It's the library that you love, you know? The place where you always alone. Foo. Always alone. That was Saad tilde. You. I don't care about my surrounding anymore at that time. I could buy many books later to replace the damaged one, a small price for let my rage out. Ha. You miss tilde. I throw spell after spell, but the stupid blonde keep dodge it with ease. Then in my rage, I forego to lock my bottled emotion. Shut up, me too. I want to become like any normal children, going out and playing freely without care about this stupid status. That is my dream. Sharing our interest, competing about small things, having a nice chat about our hobby. I want someone I can talk to, not surrounded by books. That is my desire. I am lonely. I want a friend. And I am always jealous of normal people like you. And that is my true feelings. There. All of those things that I buried deep in my heart, I finally said it to someone. For someone who has their freedom, what do you know about me? Then it hit. My spell finally hit him. I was happy for finally got him and want to know what kind of face that he has at that time. But sadly, the tears in my eyes make it difficult. In that moment I saw a blur, before felt someone hugged me. I turn up my head to facing the person in anger, but I was surprised again when knew it's actually the butler who hugs me, with warm yet sad smile on his face there. Finally, I cracked your mask. While my eyes widened after heard that. I was surprised when realized he actually purposely mocking me, to make me anger, to make me unconsciously say those things. Never once all the people in my house mocked me before, because the employee always smiling and kind around me. To the little sister of the current one of great Satans. Never once my family scold me and always praising for how proud they are of me. To I who doing my best to become the heiress of my clan. As I feel a hand on my head, my thought disturbed it, and he spoke, Oju-sama, it's enough, you don't have to put your mask anymore. At least when you're with me. His kind tone makes my eyes moist, my body tremble, and the coldness in my heart melt. Shut up. What do you think you are doing? Let go. I said, let go. I tried to struggling at his embrace, angered at how dare he doing something rude and embarrassing. But, no matter hard I struggled, the warmth that he gives make me hesitating at that time. Ni, Oju-sama. It's true that I'm your personal butler now, the one who will serve you as long as I can. Curiosity makes me stop the struggle and decided to listening. But when I saw you at the first time, I was thought before become her butler, I have to become something else first to her, and did you know what is it? What? Turning my head, I faced this man and saw how sincere those blue eyes of him. Then he says. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. Sona Citri, will you be my friend? And thus, that was how I found my one-sided first friend. 30 after that day, my life oddly turned becomes a wonderful. And hell at the same time. One thing that I could say about Uzumaki Naruto is annoying. Always whining when we are alone, always did something outrageous when I was bored, and always told a story that I don't even want to hear before I sleep. But despite those troublesome things, it was fun. To make my days less monotone, he dared to challenge me for who's better to keep their calm and professional attitude in front of other people's, with the loser have to do one thing what the winner says is the bet. 9 from 10, I lost. Just how much luck that man has. As the time passing, I remembered why he worked at my place, and decided to ask it to my father. The answer my father gave is weird. He told me no more than that he is a trusted man. That's all. Deciding to trust my father's judgment that time, I let the matter just like that. Another thing that I could say about Naruto is strong. I once saved from a kidnapper when I taking a walk in the town. And when he came to save me, I saw how easy he beat all those bad guys. Then after thought I could trust him, I decided to tell my goal. To make the devils become equal. Instead being laughed or frowned, he just simply says. There's no such a thing as equal in this world. If it really is. Where the place everyone has honor, pride, talent and same ability are actually exist, then we would all be rejected and suffered equally too in there. I can't deny his logic, I even almost abandoning my goal on that day. But could I do that? To throw away my effort these years just like that? And then, I got my answer. Well, you don't have to think about those difficult things. It's a great goal you have there. I respect that. Besides, your term about equal is different from what I know. After all, you just want everyone happy, right? It's not like you would put every living things in the world on illusion, right? On that day too, I decided to open my mind and heart a little for him. Sure, it's awkward and embarrassing on the first day I try to interact with him. But after that, whenever I with him, life is never dull for me. Until that day. The day where I most hurtful. It was supposed to be a special day for me, when I was received my special chess pieces. Unlike ordinary chess pieces, the one that I got is something that could give me a peerage like any other high-class devils. It's called the evil pieces. After received it from my parents, I quickly leave them and running to search a certain blonde excitedly, already decided who will become my queen on my peerage. Then after that, I will confess that Anyway, I searched him in his room, kitchen, and the library, but no matter how hard, I can't find him. I also already asked the maids, the gardeners, the butlers, and even my parents. Still, I can't find him. While lost in my thought to find him, an earthquake shook me. A big one that makes almost all the furniture in my house fell. My body who can't take it also dropped down because of the shook, but I saw something in the last second through the window, a strange light in north part of the City's territory. I don't know how, but my mind told me that he is in there. And so, I start running to the source of the light that I saw before. I was running. Running, and keep running while still carrying the box with the evil pieces in the inside. After don't know how long I ran, I decided to stop when saw something amazing. A field of swords, with golden lights that sparkling from the sword itself. The amount of swords and so many lights that coming from it makes the place look like a garden of lights, that oddly enough does not emitting holy powers. It was so pretty, such a sight that unbelievable exists in the underworld. I tried to touch one of the blades, but before my hand near the hilt, another hand interrupts me. Stop it, Sochin, it was my sister. And there is something different about her that time. Instead the usual childish attitude with that cheerful face, a calm and grimace is plastered on her face. "Ne-sama, why are you in here?" I asked curiously, only for a sad smile appeared in my sister's face. It's so unusual for my sister to do that, and somehow, that smile brings fear in my heart. "Come here. You are searching Naruto-kun, right?" asked my sister, which I answered by a nod. My sister carries me before flight to the center of the fields, and makes me saw several people in there. "Ne-sama, what are Angel and Fallen Angel doing in there? And who are those people?" I asked in confusion. It is strange to saw two being that supposed to be enemy just stood without doing anything. "Be patient, Sochin. You will find it out later." Hi, there's so much question in my head that time, but I keep quiet like what my sister wants. And then, I saw him. I ran to his place while ignoring all the people who surround him. "Naru, too?" Tears leaked out from my eyes, along with the pains that suffocated my heart. Why not? Seeing my precious person laying not breathing in front me, with half of his body that glowing and start to disappear in golden lights. Who did this? In rage, I asked to the peoples behind me. Sochin, my sister, hugs and trying to console me from my side, but I ignore it as I keep glaring at those peoples. "Sochin. He's already dying when we found him." "Then why don't you save him?" "Kid." One of the men called me, "It's the fallen angel. It's not like don't want to, we just can't. We already tried anything, but no one in here can save him. What we can do right now is..." Then I finally saw it, the expression on their face. Sad, despair, and the helpless face because can't do anything. Just seeing those face. No. There's no way. It made me understand what the fallen angel wants to say. Naruto. To accept his death. My body felt limp, the shock for knowing my precious person is gone made my strength leave my body. Then with an audible thud, the box that I held fell to the ground, made me realize that I still have a way to save him. That's right. There's still a way. I will resurrect him, was what I thought. With opening the box and pick a queen chess piece, I put it on Naruto's chest and start the incantation. I, Sona Citri, hereby order, but before I could finish it, an invisible force threw the piece. My mind was blank for a second at the blatant rejection, before I dismiss it and tried using another pieces. Rooks, knights, bishops, even all the pawns. It didn't work. We already tried it too, kid. I could feel their pity gaze, but I just ignore them and try it repeatedly. "Sochin, it's enough. Naruto is." "Be quiet, Ne-sama, Sochin. I know how you feel, but please accept it. We can't do anything." That made me angry. "No. Ne-sama, you don't know what I feel. That's wrong, son. No, you don't. For she who even didn't know anything about the real me, what did she know how my feelings about him? He always beside me, Naruto always playing with me, and Naruto is always makes me happy. He was my friend. My precious person." Without facing her, I turned away and ignored my sister to gather the piece that scattered. "You, who always said that I am a genius, never know how hard I study. You, who always busy, never know how lonely I am. And you, who always thought I'm happy, never know that I am suffering. So don't ever you talking like you know me, Ne-sama. Sona-chan." Not bother how saddened my sister sounds, I put all the pieces on top of my dead friend's chest. "My name is Sona Citri. Here I plead to you, Uzumaki Naruto. Bring back your soul and body to this." Then another invisible force throws the pieces. Again, it's a failure. I ignore all the surprised gasp and murmurs behind me as I gather the pieces again, pushing my exhaustion aside for my pointless act. No matter how many times I have to do it, no matter many times I failed, even if my magic drained to none, I will not give up. "Kid." Brushing aside the call, I put the chess pieces and prepare the incantation again. "Oi kid, stop it." My focus faltering when he gripped my shoulder. I turned around and gritting my teeth in anger, then decided to answer the fallen angel. "What do you want? Just go away. Unlike you, I'm busy in here. I have a friend to be resurrected." "Hey, yeah, I can see that. But kid, you're doing it in wrong way. Huh? What are you talking about? And I realize at how different the atmosphere in there. All the sad, the hopeless, and the grief in the other people's face around her was gone, replaced by a grin and determination. Before now, we tried to resurrect him only with using one kind of pieces. And failed. But when you use all the pieces. A man who wears aloha shirt was the one who said that. It's also failed, is that what you want to say? No, it makes us remember an important thing about that old fossil. A one-eyed old man joined the conversation. The way he calling my butler an old fossil makes me curious, but I decided it didn't matter at the time. What do you mean? We realized the reason why we failed to resurrect Ogi-sama was because we only used one piece. For he who isn't only one person to begin with. We failed to see that the angel beside the fallen one also joining the conversation. Even with those sad eyes, I could tell that he has the happiest face among them. What are you talking about? Just get to the point already. To put it simple. Due to Naruto Dono's circumstances, we realize that we need more than one piece to bring him back. But just the pieces only is not enough, it also must has a certain amount of power to restore his body. And knowing how powerful Naruto Dono was, we need a huge one. The last man beside the angel was the one who explained it, and it makes my anger rise how he pointed it out like that. So what? You want to say that what I did was pointless? Ha! Kid, listen, we are not the bad peoples here, so stop thinking we are one. And for your question, yes. That's why we want to help you to putting our power in your evil pieces. I felt uncertain and suspicious at the same time. At that time, I decided to look at my sister to see what she thought about the situation, slightly felt guilty when I met her hurtful eyes. It's fine, Sochin. They can be trusted. Also, I'm sorry for never know about your feeling all this time. That's why, let me help you too. Looking at how my sister support me despite after I hurt her. I was happy. Thank you. Wani-chan. Also, I'm sorry, I said it too far. Sochin. My sister happily hugs me and I didn't mind it. At least, something good happened. I looked at those peoples again and thought that they are people I could respect. But, I still doubt them about one thing. Why? Why'd you want to save him? Why they want to help me? I facing at them one by one, asking for their answer. At least. It's what we could do to repay him. Even if he would annoyed after this, it was the fallen angel. I actually curious about the later, but decided to dismiss it as I thought that he just someone who wants to repay his debt. I already lost my father. And I don't want to lose my grandfather now. That made me blinked. My butler who looks in his early 30s was actually that old? We, a fellow pervert, always help each other, that's decided it. I made a mental note to stay away from the one-eyed old man in the future. He still owe me to repair the Olympus that he destroyed well. Naruto hid my Vajra and damn like hell I would pass this chance to ask him about where it is, that was stupid reason. And Wani-chan would hope that with this event, she would raise Sona-chan's love flag. Nay-sama, stop that. It's disgusting. Ooh. People that I could respect? Scratch that. Peanut gallery? Sounds better. Well, the question is. What about you, Dragon God? After the fallen angel said that, everyone became tensed as they looked to the sky. Curiously, I followed their gaze and saw a young woman who floating in the air. She has long black hair, milky white skin and beautiful gray eyes. The woman wore black dress with ribbon on top of her head, and holding unfolded black parasol. So pretty yet cute at the same time, the woman looked like a living doll. I saw how the young woman going down slowly, before walk ignoring us to the side of Naruto and gazing at him with longing face. Naruto. Onii's wish was to regain his end of journey. Onii, she said. Was she Naruto's little sister? Was my thought that time, before I dismiss it for a moment when the woman continues. Sacrificed so many things just to get closer to that stupid wish, throwing so many chances to start a new life, and push himself to keep striving forward. Those are part of many things that make me admire him, admire this stupid partner of mine. The feelings behind those words were so full. The sadness, loss, anger, proud, and love. I can see all of it on her bittersweet smile. So warm. Such emotions that can't be compared to my selfishness. Then what the woman said next bring a sudden change in the atmosphere. And for anyone who interfere it. Cold. As if walking on frigid night at Arctic, her words were so cold. It freezing my body, fears filled my heart. Even so, I stood still and resolved myself that this kind of fears was not even close to my determination to bring my precious person back. Don't be mistaken, I also tried to bring Onii back to life before. But, no matter how hard, I failed to do it. Turning around, the woman gives me a piercing gaze to every one of us. That's why, I'll help. The world without him is a boring world after all. I let out a sigh that I never know I held it. The other around me was no better. Just who is this woman? Was my thought. The fondness when she speaks about Naruto was so great for a sibling. I admired her for a second, at her devotion towards my butler. And the little kid over there. Hi? But then, that admiration crushed in instant. Remember this. Onii is mine and only for to be mine. And I will ensure that it will happen. Even if I have to drag him, kidnap him, or even rape him until his mind break, admired person? Scratch that. Another weirdo? Yep. And it's not over, because what she said make the stupidity started that time. Whoa. Now that would be hot. Being raped by the dragon god. Damn, you are a lucky one, aren't you, old fossil? Now, Odin. Don't be fooled. Remember, she was an old man in the past. Oh, shut up you ass. I know what I'm talking. She is a girl now, and that's all matter. It started by the one-eyed old man who gives a salute, before the fallen angel reminded him. You sure you're not start to become senile, old man? I'm sure. I'm not the weirdo who wears aloha shirt in underworld after all. Indians, aha, I can see that perfectly with both of my eyes. Cyclops. Then the person with aloha shirt joined and start making ruckus. Ma, please don't start fighting here, just stop it, Michael. You know fool there, the angel tried to become a mediator, while the man beside him snorted arrogantly. Ha! At least we are not the one who is his weapon being stolen by a brat. Why you? Oi wait wh. The fallen angel dragged when the men start brawling like kid. Except the angel who clearly failed to make them calm down. I swear my eyebrows twitched at the peanut gallery that time. Onii. The way that young woman ruggedly breathing with red face didn't help it. Ah. Siblings love. What a great scene, right Sochin? Something snaps inside me after my sister hugged me affectionately from behind. Shut the FCK off. All of you. Yep. I really said that. You four, stop fighting like brats. You pretty guy, be man up. You woman, get away from him. And Nay-sama, stop pushing your boobs to the back of my head. I throw the box with evil pieces in it to the fallen angel and give him my best glare. There. Start to charge it with your energy already. Oh okay. Geez. And I am supposed to be the kid in here. I ignored how they look at me in bewilderment, before they start to gather around. Such a scary little girl, right Michael? Yes Zeus, Ogi-sama seems has his influences in her too. I hope Ji-chan didn't corrupt her too far already. You say a pointless thing, Azazel. It's Naruto-sama we are talking about. The aloha guy is right. Still. This girl, she totally would be an S in the future. No Odin G, I think my Sochin would an M. She is a tsundere. A rival. I won't lose to her. Good luck, Dragon God. I'll do my best. I still remembered what they said that time, and the way they whispered it loudly, just increasing the fuel my anger that time. Just shut up and start already. We have a dead man to be resurrected in here. Hi, I let out a tired sigh at how they kind of remind me of Naruto himself. Ah, Sochin. My sister coming in her cheerful attitude. It seems she already turned back too. Normal. I want to ask what she wants. Before I could do that, she put a barrier around Naruto's body and me. Here, this will keep you safe. I also want to ask about the barrier, but stopped when I saw how serious my sister was. Listen, Sona. What we are going to is dangerous for you. So don't ever think to going out from here until we done, okay? The difference when she called my name, and how serious my sister that time only made me just nodded and watch her back to the peanut gallery. Then what happened next made me realize, that those peanut gallery was actually bunches of strong beings. I saw how they floating in the sky, before imbued their power to the box. Even if I can't feel it, I already knew how strong they are just by looking what happened around me. Slowly, the ground around me splitting apart, the sky became darker, thundering sounds can be heard, destructive lightning bolts descending, then numerous drip of water drenching the place around me. Heavy storm formed in there. It is weird for such weather appeared in underworld. And thanks to my sister's barrier, Naruto's body and I were fine from the unnatural phenomenon. This is bad, the pieces will break. I'll handle it, just focus to put your power more. This kind of amount still not close to his 10% of his power. Damn, just how powerful Ji-chan was. A sense of unpleasantness formed as I heard how hard they are trying, while I just could sit and hopping for the success. Then it's finally ended. After descending from the sky, my sister came and dispelled the barrier before give me the box. Here. Sochin. It's your part now. Even with rugged breath and look so exhausted, my sister gave me a comforting smile as if telling me not to be worried. I looked at the other one by one. They also have rugged breath and look so exhausted. Even the one-eyed old man, he was sprawling on the ground. I understand. I nodded to show them my grateful, before took the box and went to Naruto's body. No, the only thing that left from him was his head. I opened the box and looked all the pieces with only one thing that crossing in my mind that time. I must not fail. I started putting all the pieces on around Naruto's head and ready to chant the incantation. But before I could do that, a powerful force in form of mixed golden and dark pushed me. After some distance, I finally stopped my body who skidding to the back. The force was so powerful. My little body felt so hurts. It told me that I should let it go. Yes, my body can't handle it. But not my mind, not my will to bring him back. The first step came from my stubbornness. My name is Sona. The second step came from my sincerity. Here I plead to you, Uzumaki Naruto. The third step came from my courage. Bring you body and soul, and come back to this world of the living. The fourth step came from my determination. In the name of my queen, my bishops, my knights, my rooks, and my pawns. And last step was from my feelings. Please. Once again. Come to my side. And be my precious person. And then. A pause. A silence formed in blink of eyes as everything stopped. As I saw the mixed energy was gone, my mind blanked for a second. The thought of failure crossed in my mind. No. Way. I only for something more powerful blows me to the back. Fortunately, my sister saved me before took me out from that place. While she carrying me, that time, never thought I could see another side of my sister. Unlike me who wrapped in my sister's demon energy, her body was trembling, the color of her face was pale, and eyes that filled with anxious. After some distance, I finally saw what happened and can't be helped shocked at the display. A large pillar that made of orange light formed from where Naruto's body was, and it kept expanding and going upwards to the sky. The sheer of power, how sturdy it looked, and its huge size. It's not exaggerating if I said the energy was looked like a pillar that connecting the sky and the ground that time. Warm yet cold, comforting yet frightening, safe yet vulnerable. Each those feelings mixed just being near it. Such a emotion that makes my mind blank when felt it. Fortunately, it didn't last long. Just few seconds after that, the pillar was become smaller and smaller until its form changed to something like a cocoon. I called my sister and motioned her to go where Naruto was. There's hesitation on her face, before decided to do what I said. At some distance, I could saw the peanut gallery was already in there, surrounding the cocoon with face that shows hope and expectation. I landed in front of them all, but the moment my feet touched the ground, the exhaustion finally kicked in. As the lights on the cocoon dimmed down, my body wobbled then falls to the ground. I ignore my sister who shouted to me, I ignore my evil pieces that clattering to the ground. That time, the only thing that I focused was the boy who's standing in front of 9 unknown figures. He was clad in familiar torn black and white uniform, multiple bat wings out from his back, spiky sun-kissed blonde hair, glowing purple eyes that shimmering to blue, and the unusual 3 whiskers like mark on his cheek. Nah, Ru, too. That was what I said, before darkness surrounded my vision. 30 When I woke up, the first thing what I saw was my parents. They were happy and apologized for forcing many things without considering my feelings. I also told by them that I was unconscious for 3 weeks. My sister came after that, getting happy and excited with her usual childish persona, then promised to me that she will come straight to home and playing with me after her job as Leviathan done. I was happy to hear that, but sadly, it becomes annoying later. And then, he came. With the other 9 behind him. You looked like when losing our game and had to running around this home only clad in your underwear, Sona, and you look like a snot-nosed brat now, but still with that habit of yours to harass people, Naruto. PFFT. We laughed at our usual playful banter, something that we always did when no one around. Hey, still the same Sona, huh? Yeah. A moment silent formed between us. Actually, it's just because I didn't know where to start. Well, I think it's the time I explain the situation like I did to your parents and sister. I understand. He offered an explanation for what happened to him, but I know better for not expecting that he will explain it in detail. I will start it when I fought several people. Hey, didn't you mean thousands of Shukaku? Not now, May, suit yourself. One of the 9 people, Shukaku, interrupted the conversation before stopped by Naruto. I was curious about those unfinished words but decided to let Naruto finish his story first. The real reason he came there, to the underworld, was to lure several peoples and eliminate them all. He already made an agreement with his friends first, for no one interrupt his fight because of some circumstances. When I asked what is it, he didn't give the answer. I tried to ask another question, why he chose the place at the Sitri clan territory. The answer was because he just coincidentally found a good spot. Naruto also told me about how he died. It was because his body finally given up after fighting the last enemy. My sister, who knew something wrong in the territory, was going to his place, but before stopped by those peanut gallery who observing the fight. Thus why my sister was in there. After his fight ended, the peanut gallery tried to resurrect him but failed, until I came and he didn't need to tell me because I already know what happened that time. And that's explained how I'm in here. Now, I'll explain something about our situation. He moved aside and motioned those 9 people behind him to me. First, you have to know that the me who before being resurrected has body that constructed not just from one soul. Thus when you using all the pieces, it also resurrect them. The second is, here, open it. He showed a box. I took and opened it, before surprised when I saw it was the pieces that I used to resurrect him. I know for sure it was mine after sensed a faint of my own energy from it. We already asked the one who made these pieces, how it didn't absorbed by us? But even he himself never knows such a thing can be happened. We also had tested if we had the pieces traits or not, and the results was positive. And that means, what is it? We are your peerage. I don't know it's legal or not, but the fact you still has the pieces, it means you could gain another full set of member. And that would make you the first devil who has 2 set of servants. I was happy that time, to know I could have 2 full set of pieces. But the problem is, yes, I already know the news was too good for me, so I'm not so surprised when he says, we don't want to serve you. A light nudge stirred her eyes, makes a blurry image of a person appeared, before revealed it's just one of the maid in Citri's house. Oju-sama, it's morning already, said the maid as she waiting her master to wake up. Sona rose from the bed and rubbed her eyes. What's wrong? Last night, Naruto-sama asked me to wake you up this morning. There's something that I have to do, is what he said. Explained the maid as she starts undressing her mistress to wipe her body, only for halt it when Sona raised her hand stopped the maid. I will do it by myself, just put my clothes and school bag in there, pointing the corner of her bed. Sona saw the maid complied it before give her a bow. Then, if you excuse me, Oju-sama, continued the maid as she walks out from there. Sona saw the maid close the door for a moment, before start to undress and wipe her body with towel and water that already prepared in there, then wear her summer school uniform. As she buttoning her shirt, a thought about her dream last night surfaced from her mind. Sona turned her head to a painting in the wall near her bed. The first peerage was what written on its frame. The picture itself shows a younger looking Sona who's sitting on a throne at the center, wore royal black dress with a crown on top of her head and a pendant on her neck. Next to her is a younger looking Naruto in butler uniform holding a medal shaped in Roman number 10 in his arm. There are also several people behind her, wearing the same butler uniform despite the difference in their gender, and the same medal but with number 1 to 9 in each their hand. First peerage, huh? A lone voice out from the young woman's mouth. Still half dressed, she walking closer to the painting then look at it for a moment, before took it away from the wall. There is a safe behind the painting. Sona, who familiar about it, released all the seal then put the right combination. The safe was opened later and showing a familiar box to Sona. The Citri heiress opened it and took a familiar pendant of light orange sword and staring at it, just staring at it before a sense of determination growing in her heart. I can't always run away from it. At the same time the Citri heiress put on the pendant, it was glowing for a second, sending a signal that makes several peoples in several unknown place showing several reactions. In unknown hospital a sand-colored hair woman who wore nurse uniform flashed a sadistic smile as she attending a patient. Is there something wrong, Ichihara-san? Asked the patient with wary smile. Oh, it's nothing. Less than a second, it was back to charming smile. In unknown school standing near a window is a blue-haired woman who has feral grin on her face as she watching the sky with her heterochromia eyes. Ni-sensei. Called a student from behind. The woman turned back as the smile turned to playful one. What's wrong? In unknown and walking in a hall with cold eyes is a maroon-haired woman, before it was warmed when saw a person. Ohayu, owner. Ohayu. Also, just Sanzuki is fine. I understand. Greeting as a courtesy, the woman flashing a motherly smile to the person. In unknown office in front of a schedule board, a light red-haired young woman looking at it with a gaze that not has a single emotion on it. Ooh. Manager Yatsuba, I'm tired. Closing her eyes, the young woman turned with comical angry face. Stop complaining and do it again. Remember this, a road to be an idol is never easy. Ha ha he. In unknown garden a cute emotionless silver-haired short girl reading a book under a tree with a small grin that not suitable for her stoic face. Goddess-san, the grin was vanished as she looking at the one who called her, before she stood from the ground, dusting her skirt, then walking quietly to the one who called her. In a classroom sitting in the center of the room is a white-haired girl who has sad smile on her face. Roku-ki, are you listening? Eh? Ah, I'm sorry. It quickly dissolved to lovely smile after her classmate called her. In unknown family restaurant then, one set of special lunch, coming right up. Ooh, don't forget one extra smile, Nana-chan. Hi, a smiling green-haired young woman in maid uniform walking to get the order, hiding her wide smirk behind the tray that she holds. In unknown alley looking at several down thugs in boredom, a frown marred on pink-haired young woman's innocent face. This year, huh? You. Damn. Hachikuji. The young woman looed at the last thug who fell unconscious, before took her school bag from the ground then continue walking indifferently. In unknown apartment a ginger-haired girl was drawing something with serious face, before she stopped for a second then sighed loudly. Brats. Kuugami-sensei, I come to take the manuscript. Today? The girl speeds up her drawing as if chased by a death god. And in front of a school gate a rather familiar blonde-haired man sweeping the ground lazily as several students passing him. Oh hi-you, Namikaze-san. A random student greeted then passing him. OSU. A few seconds he looked at the student with half-closed eyes, his left eyebrow twitched. Before continue to sweep the ground. Back to the palace of Sitri clan, Sona put on the rest her school uniform. With zip up the skirt, tied the ribbon, wore her glasses and pick up her school bag, she ready to go from there and meet her vice president before set out to Kuo Academy. And I swear, I'll get their acknowledgement this year. Twisting the knob, Sona Sitri out from that room. I can't believe it. That blonde bastard. A sudden remark came from Tomoe, annoyed after heard what happened to Rias and her engagement was all planned by her nemesis. It's not like she cared enough for the Gremory's heiress, but as a normal high school girl who put their love live on first priority, even she will put up an objection if somehow got engaged with some jerk. Calm down, Tomoe ordered the student vice president with her usual calm demeanor. But Fuku Keiku, don't you find it frustrated to worry over nothing because it's all part of that man's plan? Continued Tomoe, still annoyed how everything was according to her school's janitor plan. Kusaka Rhea takes a step and interrupts the conversation to calming Tomoe. You know Tomoe-chan, I also kind of annoyed by that, but everything will turn to be okay and isn't that is what more important? Said the treasurer of student council. Not you too, Rhea. Groaned the red-haired girl as her ahoge limped. Ha! I guess you're right. On the street to Kuo Academy, several students in that place saw something rare in there. A group of the student council from their school walking in a group. It's not like they never saw them in the school, but the sight of every member walking in a group made a different aura in there. Still. To think that Hayao won against a high-class devil. Trailed off Saji with rather serious tone. Well, it's not that surprising, he got a help from Naruto-sensei after all, commented Yura Tsubasa. She's right, Genchuru-senpai. Besides, you heard what Keiku said before, that Hayao-senpai sacrificed his arm to get power boost, explained more Nimura Ruruko to his secret crush. But don't you find it's kind of romantic? For suddenly barge in an engagement party then fight a high-class devil just to get your precious person back, right Gen-chan? Hanakai Momo gives her thought about this conversation. Yeah, said Saji with wry smile at the sudden different subject. Didn't Keiku also mentioned about her own engagement? Questioned Rhea who remember about it. If I'm not wrong. It was cancelled too, wasn't it? Said Tsubasa who also remember about it. Maybe it was because of Naruto-san? You know, like what Hayao did, said Momo excitedly. Kya. Never thought Naruto-senpai would do that, squealed Ruruko with shaking her fists. Tomoe who saw it dropped a bead of sweat as she saw how the other female student council members that squealing or giggling in front of her. That, and Saji who failed miserably to change the topic because it's too hurt for her crush being paired with someone else. Then in the future. Looking at the sunset, Naruto-senpai who carrying Keiku like a princess proposed her to marry him, said Ruruko excitedly. Kya. And then, on the first night of the wedding. Kya. Trailed off Rhea before she squealed again. Oi, keep your fantasy in line, will you? Deadpan Tomoe as she heard Rhea move the story to the next stage. Keiku, was something like that happen to you? Asked Ruruko to the person directly. It's not true, right Keiku? And this from Saji who put his hope on the yes answer. Keiku? Called Ruruko as she saw the Citri heiress that seems focused on something else. Keiku? Asked once more Ruruko before she exchanged looks with Saji. The others also seem confused about their student president's behavior. The short black-haired woman seems quiet since this morning. Even after they coincidence meeting each other and greeted her, their king just nodded and just continue her walk as she fiddling a pendant. Usually, their keiku become more expressive if heard or discussing about their school's janitor. Be it big or small thing, she always say something about the blonde. But now, she just quiet like that. Keiku, are you okay? Asked Tsubaki worriedly as she put her hand on her king's shoulder. Yeah, I'm fine. What are you talking about? Asked Sona after looked like woken up from a daydream. Ha ha. We just wondering if your arranged engagement was also cancelled because of Naruto-senpai. And then, make a vow to married after your goal to make school. Trailed off Ruruko as she saw the disbelieved face and heard hopeless sighs around her. Sorry, forget about that, said the girl sheepishly as she scratching the back of her head. A rather soft smile presented at the brunette from Sona, before she continues walk. Well, about that question, said their student president with her back facing them. How to say it? That's right, then Citri Eris turned still with that smile. It's impossible. Was what she said before Kenichi walk leaving them. The other who heard it usually just took the answer as a joke or an insult to the blonde. But somehow, that hollow smile made it sounds different. Let's go, said Tsubaki to her juniors as she also walked following her, king. Don't worry, she gonna be back to normal later. The others complied it before continued walk behind the Citri Eris again. Sona knows she caused this awkward situation. Well, it can't be helped to answer it like that because the feelings about the dream from last night still lingering. Let out another sigh, she twists the knob to the student council room then went in as she hopes the paperworks could distract the stress in her mind. Yo, took you long anu, what a rare sight, to see you all came in one set. Sadly, the cause of her stress was catching up to her first. Sitting on the corner in comfortable manner while watching TV is Naruto, greeting nonchalantly with his usual half-lidded eyes. What are you doing in here, blonde bastard? Morning to you too, Tomoeki. How's you antenna? I hope it still could give a signal to your brain. You. Walking closer to the blonde is her other, Knight, who already doing their usual banter. Well, good morning, Naruto-sensei OSU, Tsubasa-kun. That's right. Could you spar with Mit-chan later? Hi, sensei. This one from her other, Rook, who greeting Naruto as her one-sided teacher. Ohio, Naruto-san OSU. Ohio, Naruto-sama os wait, what's with the sama thing? Fufufu, what are you talking about, didn't I always calling you with that? Really? Ma. Two of her other, Bishop S., Hanakai and Kusaka greeting the blonde with their antics. Senpai, move a bit. I want to watch this one. Go away, you troublesome woman. Boo, senpai, you're mean. Ohio, namikaze Naruto is fine, Santoru? Saji. It's Saji. Since when my name turned to a sword style? Her, Pawn S. Her other, Pawn S also greeting their janitor, Nimura with her wine, while Saji Hutsukomi ed Naruto's habit to messing around. Ohio, Naruto dono o, Meganeko. How's your doing? I'm fine. And her, queen, both of them. Sona watched the blonde who smiling and chatting with her second peerage, she focused on the blonde with bitter gaze, before staring the ground as a thought of uncertainty flashed in her mind. Was it a mistake to put on the pendant? Sona forcefully shook her head to dismiss the thoughts. No, it's not a mistake. Even if with the incomplete second peerage, she has to get it. Her other peerage's acknowledgement. A bet that she made with him, to extend his contract with her. Because she can't waste more time, she don't have many of it anymore. After finally found a way to extend the contract. She has to do it this year or she will lose her precious person. But, what if she failed? Your old habit surfacing again, Sona. Raising her head, she saw Naruto who stood up before walking closer as her second peerage looked at them with various expressions. What? Nothing, just want to ask something. Like I said, what? You. Are you sure can win the bet? My offer to finish this stop it. Sona quickly interrupted the blonde with heavy glare on her face, didn't need to hear his offer to complete the contract between them, telling her to give up. How many times I should say it? Don't ever mention that stupid offer again. I still have time. Until the last second before it annulled, I won't give up to gain their acknowledgement then extend our contract. She want to, but she mustn't flinch when he look at her with that eyes, a gaze that piercing her soul to see what is in her mind. She makes sure to look at his blue eyes and show her determination to him. I see. As he passing her, Sona let out a breath that doesn't know when she held it. Ah, that's right. Her body tensed when the blonde stopped. Want to hear some advices? Slowly, she turned around. Sona was expecting to see a frown, cold gaze, or many negative looks from Naruto. So how surprised she was when saw a soft, yet bright smile from the blonde. Don't be worried too much, don't shoulder everything alone, and don't think unnecessary things. Didn't trust her words, she only could nod at his advices. Atta girl. Was what he said while give a pat, before close the door. Sona quickly opened it back and tried to chase the blonde, only for stop it after saw his figure that no longer in her vision. Slumped down, her body can't stand it anymore. Her mind can't stand it anymore. Her heart also can't stand it anymore. As she ignoring the shouts of her second peerage, Sona Citri remembered the continuation of her dream about her personal butler, her guardian, her savior, and her most precious person. A tense atmosphere formed between young Sona, her family, her butler, and the 9 people behind Naruto himself. What do you mean by don't want to serve her? Don't you feel grateful for being resurrected by my Sochin? Said her sister, Sorrowful Leviathan, as she looked at the 10 people including Naruto in anger. We are grateful. But no, we don't acknowledge her to be our master, said one of the 9. And what about you, Naruto-kun? Asked her sister while she only could look at the resurrected man with hope. For he will stood on her side. Sona, like you, I also have a goal that I have too. I want to achieve it badly. I'm tired, you know. Really tired, said Naruto with helpless smile. No. She didn't like the way he used that tone as if he'd given up on everything. Then. Tell it, I'll help you to achieve it. But anything, I'll do anything. That's why. Don't leave me. Please. I beg you, really? Anything? Asked Naruto that she replied it with furious nods. Are you sure? She doesn't care if she will lose anything, as long as she can be with him. Her savior from a feeling called lonely. Yes. A silence, there was. Naruto stood still as he thinking about it, before nodded in agreement. I understand. Then, paused Naruto, as an orange sword appeared out of nowhere on his hands. With this empty shell of the great sword, Kano, I'll make contract with you. The sword glowing before its shape was changed became a pendant. For 10 years. I promise that this Uzumaki was no more. I promise that I, Namikaze Naruto, will obey every your orders except everything that could change the result of the contract. He moved closer then put the pendant on her. And then, at the day our contract annulled, you must. With dazzling smile, he gently held her hands. She was a fool for thought something happy will happen. She was a fool for thought something fantasy will happen. She was a fool. For thought what he gonna said was a sweet promise of marriage. Yes. Because. What he actually said was. Kill me. Slumpled down, crying in the hall is Sona Citri, hurtful by her own mixed feelings. As she remembers how gentle when he gave her the advice, the young woman letting out tears of confusion as she begs someone to give her an answer. It's so unfair, Naruto. How it become like this? Just what you want me to do? To save? Or to end your meaningless life?